who is still in competition.
He
for
said
the
Greg
Packers?
the Leg Zerline / Joseph is in essence
No,
what
I
he
did
said.
not say slash.
You didn't say slash, but that's what you did.
I said Zerline. Oh, Joseph. And I kept going like a trooper.
Yes. Listen, man.
I'm going to go find how many sacks you gave up in your
AG,
career.
I had not as many as you butchered that Sports Center.
I'm not bashing
I'm not
him, though.
bashing you because I know, listen, I have verbal slip. We all do. But then we own it. We own it. Now I got AG all pissed off for the whole show.
And he's in tomorrow, too. We'll see if he comes back.
I bet his Sports Center will be better tomorrow.
Tausch is in the Everlight Solar
This
Studio
way, he's got a
here
10
as
o'clock.
well.
Are you going to have Greg Zerline in your 10 o'clock Sports Center? You almost have to now. Like, who does he even play for? Is he on a team
He's
yet?
got to be retired by now.
I'm checking now.
I thought he was with the Jets, actually.
He was with the Jets recently. I don't know if he still is. It looks
He's
like
36.
Is he that
current
old?
team, New York Jets. He's still on the Jets.
He's
Greg the Leg.
Yeah, but he was that mandatory. Yeah.
Legatron.
All right, so
Hi, Tausch.
hey, buddy. Thank you, AG, for getting us started. That was great, by the way. I think you did that strictly for our show. I don't understand this. So, you know, I come into the studio. Obviously, when it's just you and I'm going to try to get in here every day because it's energy, all that other stuff. But when Jason's on, we're both remotely. I enjoy that too. What I don't enjoy is you come to your office. We have a great office here in the Spark building. It's beautiful. And the parking garage has been great. It's been great. Come in on Tuesday, and they're power washing the deck at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Why are you doing it at 9? Why would you not do it at night? Why would you not do it like after 5 when people are done? I don't understand.
You would like them working third shift to do the power washing of the parking garage.
I would. So, okay, whatever. You're doing it. It should take a day. Okay. Come in. We have Juneteenth off. I have a great day yesterday fishing and golfing. Klausy, shout out to Klausy, another big win in our surf and turf.
Klausy,
Rollo and Blaze, they stink. Like, I'm just going to call it how it is.
I don't even. Are you talking about fishing or golfing? I don't even know.
There's 2 average golfers. I am a 15, 16. 2 guys that are like 8s. And then Klausy is a really good golfer. I'm with Klausy because it's high-low.
Yep.
And then we fish, and however, it's basically for every 5 inches of fish you catch, you get a stroke.
So you have like a biathlon.
We do this every year.
And
yes,
golfing.
it's usually around this time of the year.
Sure.
So we normally golf first and then fish. Well, because I had a baseball game, et cetera, we fished first. We didn't have a monster day, but we caught 50 inches of more fish. So we got 10 strokes on these guys.
Okay.
So they come in and they're probably a little down on their dauber.
Yeah, they're upset. Yeah.
I end up just working Rollo solo. Rollo's supposed to be 8 to 10 strokes better than me. I end up beating him by 8 or 9 strokes. We end up winning by 40 plus, which is that's like a 70-point win in a NBA game. So that part of it,
Alabama against Mercer.
But I digress. So yesterday you would think, all right, everything's smooth sailing. So I pull in today at 8:30 ish, and I look and 3 floors are now being power washed. The same floor that was washed Tuesday, Wednesday, is still being washed. So I opened my window and said, hey, what the heck is going on here? Oh, we're clean.
You talked to the guys doing
I opened my window up and I said, what are you guys doing? Like, I just want to get an understanding. Places are blockaded off, but the lower level's not. So that's obviously full. The second level, which is where we usually park, it is now 3 days that this is power washed. Hey, the water drains down. What exactly are they doing? Can someone explain it to me?
Well, what did the guy tell you?
Oh, it takes a while. And I'm like, what do you mean it takes a while? It's just 3 days. When is it going to be done? I don't know.
Hey, Johnny, follow up. You didn't think to ask, like, what do you mean?
I'm not, there's cars behind me. I'm not going to sit there and stand still.
Well,
Plus, I had a meeting at 8:30 that I had a meeting with Benny at 8:30 that I was a couple minutes late for. So I just was dumbfounded that they're taking this long and they're power washing. Why would it take 3 days to power wash a parking ramp? They're not painting. It's power washing the ramp.
Well, it takes a while. As
3 days?
The fella told you. Yeah, well, you could have asked to follow it. You didn't ask to follow it.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I just had a great job with Johnson & Sons Paving. Wildy's hobby is to power wash. He loves power washing his deck. I am volunteering Wildy to come power wash our parking ramp the next time. I'm going to volunteer him.
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't think you should do that without Jason's consent with him on the show. He's going to get back next Wednesday and not realize that he's signed up to power wash the parking garage.
It's one of his
here
favorite
in Madison. He has said that with us, yes. I think he more means like his driveway that probably doesn't take as long of a while to power wash as our parking garage
Legitimately,
does.
I don't fully understand because all that is a big driveway. That's what a parking ramp is.
I mean, there's a
And by the way, it's all slanted downhill. It is graded so that the water and stuff comes down and flushes out. It's not like it's sitting there in puddles.
You think this is like a water slide where you go up on the 5th floor and you just start power and it's going to just drain all the way down and like, oh, there you go. We did 2 minutes, just hit,
No,
boop, it's clean.
legitimately, yes. That's why it's graded that way.
No, that's not. You got to like focus the surge.
What do you
of
know
the-
about power washing?
Well, apparently more than you.
No.
You got to
I
like.
power washed back on the farm all the time. I
It's-
know what power washing's about.
I power washed our fence, which hadn't been power washed, I don't think, since our old owners of our home had moved out last year, and that took a while. It took multiple days
does
to
it
get
take
the fence done.
Should what is happening take a full week over at the parking garage?
I would think not.
Okay, thank you. That's all I'm saying.
would-
I was irritated Tuesday, but I'm like, all right, fine. Why you're doing it in the heart of the day, I don't fully understand. I understand that you're close to the music venue and there's nights, so I was okay with it. All right, yep, cool. All right, Wednesday, yep, all right. Now we're going on 3 days and the second floor of the parking ramp is still closed because you're washing it?
So, all right, 844-770-3776. If you're a public worker who has experience in the power washing of a industrial structure, please give us a call.
You're
or
not going to
text
give me
and
an
let
answer
us
that's
know.
going to suffice.
Other than
You're
it
not.
takes a while, according to the guy that Tausch rolled his window down to talk to as he pulled into the parking garage coming into work
I can't
this
sit
morning.
here and tell you if there's firsthand info, I want it. And I thought, well, maybe something happened with the power wash or something. No, it's just how it is.
The only answer you got was it takes a while.
That is the answer I got. Yes.
I love that. 844-770-3776. If you have any expertise or experience with this situation, Tausch would love to know so he can be less perturbed
AG,
by the parking situation.
I really am just curious. Like, maybe I'm just being a jerk store about this. Maybe I don't understand or comprehend, but why on earth would it take that long? Can either of you guys give me an answer?
You know, I come off as someone who's like not easily rattled. I'm chilling. I've got the long hair. I seem pretty, love and peace. Mm-hmm. But when I'm in a vehicle, there's nothing that gets me more riled up than being mildly inconvenienced. However, I got here at 7 o'clock this morning. I got here nice and early to start setting up. You said last time I was on the show, are you nervous? No? Well, you should be. And so I got here early to set myself up for success.
I want people on edge, yes.
I got to park on wherever I wanted. No one was there telling me where to park.
So they
No,
weren't
that's not
at it
true.
at 7
You
a.m.
couldn't park. There's signs up, don't park here. You couldn't park on the second floor.
I parked on the ramp on the way up. There was nothing there.
So you're one of the few cars
So
that's
you're
now
telling me they
obstructing
just
the-
slapped the do not parks up on the side, even though there's
No. There was
yellow cords of do not park here, all this other stuff. And why? The worst that's going to happen, a little water is going to hit my tires.
Great. I need a car wash anyway.
844-770-3776. Please, if you have more experience with power washing a large industrial structure, we need your help figuring out what the heck's going on in our parking garage at ESPN Madison today. 844-770-3776. I'm surprised that you are this annoyed. Well, I'm not. But
Why would you be surprised by that?
because here's the you are all about supporting when we have workers who are out taking care of the roads during
Snow
the winter.
plowing. You're not going to find a bigger snowplow
Right.
driver advocate because they have a tough job and it is a time. It's time urgent, right?
Time
it has to
sensitive,
be
yeah.
done. This you could literally do any time of the year, anytime, and you do it now during the week. And I get doing it for a day, and if you have to shut things down, totally understand. I can't comprehend 3, and I would guess if I come in tomorrow, it'll be a 4th day, and I would guess if I come in Monday, they still are going to have residue.
Takes a while because Alex G keeps parking in the way on the second floor when he gets here so early in the morning. So whenever I'm driving around and I see construction happening and they say, like, this ramp is closed from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. on Wednesday.
No problem with that. That's night shift. That's when it should be done.
I feel bad for those workers that, like,
why?
Their
safety is going to be much more apt at night than in the morning, than in a rush hour situation.
So the power washers in the garage this morning, like, it's great that they get to do this during regular business hours. They get to go home and have dinner with their families. They get to wake up and get the kids to school. When you're switching your entire day around, being a construction worker who has to go in at 11 p.m., midnight to go work on the roads, just so that we're out of the way. I feel bad for those workers.
If I put myself in their shoes, and by the way, I've done a lot of labor like this, I would much prefer not having a ton of cars coming and some jackwagon in a great Chevy Tahoe opening his window asking what the hell's going on. I'd much rather be doing it midnight to 5 a.m. when there's nobody here, and I can go about my business and get it done quicker, more efficiently. So spare me with that. I don't buy your argument on that. I just don't.
I feel bad for the workers. I appreciate that they're getting to do it during regular time.
Plenty of people got third shift jobs, Jesse. Plenty of people.
It's not like the entire
I feel bad for a nurse that has to work 48 hours in a row.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad if somebody's doing a shift 10 to 7. I've done game night on ESPN. That's a 4-hour shift till 2.
For you?
It was fine because I signed up for that gig. And by the way, would I rather have been on primetime and had a ton more viewers and listeners? Yeah. It's the opposite when you're doing manual labor. I want less people around so that I can get my job done more efficiently.
All right, efficiently. 844-770-3776.
Well, I got to pound points with you because you're saying things like, I just think it would be nice if this happened.
You're Mr. Snowplower. You're Mr. Johnson & Sons paver.
I am all about because those jobs, this stuff is what makes the world go round. I'm on board, but it's easier. You don't want to completely mess up all of your consumers, A, and B, it's easier for the workers to do it when there's less people around. It just is.
So when you're calling Gina Della for those new windows, are you going to be annoyed if they come and they're doing it at 10 a.m. or you want them doing it in the overnight hours? Or what?
First off, it's not going to take 5 days. I can assure you that. It'll be installed. It's going to be done professionally and beautifully on time. And you know what? If you have an older home and you need new windows, well, the way they did things a century ago, it is a little different than today. So give Pella a call. Their team of experts can customize windows and doors that match architecture from any era. AG, what's your favorite era?
The Baroque.
Baroque.
That's a good one.
That is. I had not heard of that, but Cenozoic, Paleozoic, those eras, we'll match it up. It doesn't matter what kind of home you live in. And if you order today from Pella, you get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends June 30th of 2024. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
We do have some developments on the Packers kicking competition up in Titletown, plus plenty more to dive into. Some interesting commentary from Terrell Buckley earlier this week on the Homer Hour. We're going to get to plenty of Packers conversation coming up. Also, Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio, scheduled to appear about 15 minutes from right now. And Tausch heard something on Unsportsmanlike this morning that he wants to dive into prior to Evan's appearance. So we will do that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. In season, off season, draft season. Whatever season it is, we are Milwaukee's place to talk green and gold. Listen, watch, or stream live whenever, wherever. 94.5 ESPN.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's Brewers Cubs. It's the I-94 rivalry. It's your chance to defend American Family Field. Be here June 28th through the 30th for 3 huge Brewers games. Find your spot for the action at brewers.com/tickets.
The big gig is back. Summerfest is going on till July 6th, and ESPN Milwaukee will be there. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman and the Homer Hour are live from Summerfest every Thursday and Friday at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone. Stop by and say hi to your favorite 94.5 ESPN hosts and play games for prizes. It's ESPN Milwaukee at Summerfest.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Chris Killian is joining me. Doctor, for people who do need some type of shoulder procedure, what's the benefit to having it done at OAW?
There's a vast array of shoulder issues that different patients can have depending on what your age is, what your activity level is. So there are things such as unstable shoulders where the shoulder is dislocating, and there's a variety of treatments for that. Very, very common issue as people age are rotator cuff issues or arthritis. So we have pretty set and standard treatments that there is a difference when you come to us, especially, we do all arthroscopic rotator cuff repair surgeries, really advanced shoulder replacement surgeries where we use a navigation system when we perform the shoulder replacement that allows us to more accurately place the components that should hopefully then make them last longer. So we do have some very advanced options that are very unique to our group and allow us to kind of set ourselves apart compared to other people.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
I'm Monica Kessler.
Monica makes sure that everything at Kessler's is worthy of a lifetime warranty.
The quality of your ring is incredibly important when it comes to diamond setting, ring sizing, and repairs.
Monica has been part of Kessler's since she was 6 years old.
Let me tell you how to judge the quality of the jewelry you're buying.
It's easier than you think.
All you have to do is read the warranty.
Most stores offer a 5-year warranty, but Kessler's offers a lifetime warranty, the strongest in the world.
We can do it because we put more gold in your jewelry.
When a jeweler wants to make a bigger profit, they put less gold into the jewelry. This makes it thinner and easier to break.
Theirs might look like ours at first glance, but Kessler's jewelry is made not to break, and that takes more gold.
We give you a lifetime warranty because our jewelry is made to last forever, just like your love.
Gold is more than $2,000 an ounce.
Kessler's gives you more gold, a lot more gold.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here to tell you about the grand opening of the newest Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Get a precision grand opening haircut for just $20. Lady Jane's in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
All right, we have an expert weighing in on the power washing situation.
I hope I want to learn. I want to understand why it takes a week to power wash a parking ramp. I want to learn.
Jesse and Tausch today on Wilde and Tausch. Jason Wilde on assignment. He'll be back next week. Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio scheduled to appear coming up in our next segment. Alex Gravatt in the Everlight Solar Studio with Tausch and I, today's producer. All right, Casey in Sheboygan texts in 844-770-3776. Used to do maintenance during the summers for a building on the square when I was in college at UW-Madison.
Mm-hmm.
One year, we were asked to work 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. on a Sunday to Monday to power wash the parking garage.
Did he get paid extra?
They made sure no cars were parked in it from over the weekend. We had about 5 college guys. It was a 5-story parking ramp done in less than 8 hours.
Thank you.
I get being family friendly, but a perfect situation to pay time and a half to some college dudes who don't mind staying up all night.
So, Casey just proved my point.
He did.
Okay.
Also, many people chiming in to share that third shift workers get a shift premium for working the inconvenient schedule.
There's a lot
overnight.
of people. I had friends that worked after high school and got third shift, and you make more money. So, is it inconvenient? I want when you have a family and stuff like that. I think it's probably a little different because you obviously well, maybe it's even better because you're working while they're. I don't know. I can't get into all that. But what I will say is there is a convenience to what the old boy was just saying, not having cars around. You, as workers, you would think if you're doing road construction, you probably want to have it where there's less cars, where there's not going to be a bunch of you're going to narrow it down to one lane. Do you want it to be at 5 o'clock when everybody's leaving, or do you want it to be at 4 a.m. when there's anybody out on the road? It probably is common sense to say let's do it in the morning.
Well, wait a minute, though. We've got another text here from a 608.
Maybe I don't want to hear this one.
Hey, Tausch.
Okay.
Every city has noise ordinances. You can't run power washing machines overnight. A quick Google search shows Madison ordinance for the use of construction equipment, including lawnmowers and other noisy equipment, is limited to the hours of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
All right, well, that needs to change. Get an exemption for parking garages. Like, that just makes no sense.
It's
and
next
by the
to
way,
a concert hall.
I don't believe, there's music playing till 11 p.m. right here. So, boo-hooey on all that. I know the AmFam concert, when it's over, it has to be done at 10. By the way, I like that. 10 o'clock, you got to go. I'm not worried if there's going to be lighters being lit up. Oh, let's do an encore. Nope, it's 10 o'clock, man. The ordinance, hey, I'm good. Parking stuff. There are roads that get done. It just is common sense to do it this way. So, yes, I think ordinances and things can get in the way. And I appreciate that point being brought up, but that doesn't mean I'm going to agree with it. It's dumb.
Continue to share your expertise on the text line, preferably not Scuba Chad, 844-770-3776, if you have any experience like Casey and Sheboygan in power washing garages. Now, did the city ordinance not exist when Casey did this a few years ago, like power washing the garage on the square?
First off, a power washer is not running a chainsaw. Like, it's not that.
It can be loud.
It's not that loud. You're not running a jackhammer. Like, okay, if you don't want a jackhammer at 4 in the morning, I get it. Power washing, come on. Wildy can handle it. If Wildy can handle something, we ain't calling it power equipment.
Would you stop bashing the guy?
I'm not bashing him. I'm just curious.
You bash G in the first segment. You bash Wildy now.
I didn't bash G. I made an observation.
Are you going to bash Evan when he's coming up with us next?
Of course.
What was the deal that you heard on Unsportsmanlike
So he
this
is
morning?
just completely and utter dumbfounded that people have second fridges or freezers that they put stored meat. Like if you get a half of a cow, or if you win a meat raffle, or if you go fishing and catch a bunch of salmon like Old T, and you have the garage that you can put that frozen salmon in. I thought that was common knowledge, and he acted like Robert Herjavec on Shark Tank when somebody brought an idea to him, and he's like, well, I didn't know that. What do you mean you didn't know that? It's like a pencil. Just easy common knowledge things. Evan acted like somebody had just split the atom in saying that they have garage freezers that have garage or basement freezers. And I would bet a vast majority of people have that. You do, I'm sure.
So in our house, we have a finished part of our basement and an unfinished part of the basement. In the unfinished part, we do have a second freezer where we keep the overflow frozen food, and that can be meat that we win at the meat raffle or we get at the meat store on discount or whatever. There's some frozen pizzas in there for a rainy day type situation, or there's we keep the ice cream down there.
Oh,
if you
ice
want to get
cream,
the
sure.
tub ice cream. You get the brandy slush when you
a brandy slush in a little 5-gallon pail.
Yep, you put that in that freezer downstairs. My parents had the same thing at our house growing up. Obviously, if you live in an apartment, you live in a condo, you probably don't have this type of situation.
Yeah, but I bet you got one of those little mini fridges. Everybody,
not necessarily.
I don't know if you can have enough fridges. I mean, how many fridges does a guy need?
When I live, and I've lived
fridge/freezer.
I've lived in a good share of apartments. I've only ever had the fridge that came with the apartment. Was the only fridge I never had a separate mini fridge that I brought. Gee, what's your living? So you got a fridge or whatever?
By the way, I enjoy the freezer being on the bottom of the fridge too a lot better. When I grew up, it was the freezer on top of the fridge.
Yeah, I like the freezer
the
on the
bottom freezer. 100 times better than the top.
I'm rocking with a top freezer right now. It's not bad, but when you close the fridge door too hard,
pops open.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Sounds kind of shoddy.
Oh no, I live in a a beautifully renovated apartment for not very much. I'm very happy with my living situation. But I lived with 8 dudes a couple years ago.
Well, that's your first mistake.
2 fridges and a big chest freezer.
Yeah.
Necessary.
There you go.
Necessary.
Yeah.
Plus a beer mini fridge.
But that's even like fresh out of college or in college, was that?
My super senior year. Yes, I did a victory lap.
Super.
So we got super senior
I was
year.
a transfer.
I
Give
don't
me a
blame.
break.
Listen, I think you should stay in college as long as you can. As long as somebody's going to cover it.
So
I totally think you
super
should.
senior year, Alex G has the chest freezer for the spare extra.
It's just
meat.
amazing to me that this prominent radio host who's lived in Florida and he's lived in New York. I don't know if he was ever in Beaver Dam. He's lived all over the place. Had no concept of someone having. He's not living in like a 1-bedroom joint in Westchester. He's got a shack. He's in a gated community. Okay? And you don't think he's got 2 freezers? Like that, it blows my mind that he would be so dumbfounded by this.
Can't wait to talk about it with him coming up next. You got to go to Quick Trip, and when you get like that bacon wrapped pork and you get some of the other great, like the take-home meals, you want to keep those, you can put them in the extra fridge or wherever you got to go.
Well, it's baseball season, and I'm going to tournaments. We got another one down in Jesse's country this weekend out in Muskego. I'm fairly certain we'll stop and load up on snacks and drinks for everything that you're looking for. And I'm going to make my stop at Quick Trip using my Quick Rewards, and you're not going to want to miss out on this deal. Head to your local Quick Trip today. Purchase select Gatorade, Gatorlight, Gatorade Water, or Fast Twitch products using your Quick Rewards, and you're going to be automatically entered to win a game day prize pack. You can win 4 tickets to a suite for the Brewers' July 21st game against the Minnesota Twins. But that's not all. You could also be able to watch batting practice and even throw out the first pitch. Plus a $500 gift card to the team store and another $500 as a Quick Trip gift card, batting practice, gift cards, a view from the suites, and throwing out the first pitch just by grabbing some Gatorade. Get all the contest details at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes. No purchase is necessary.
Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here for Carbless, my go-to drink this summer. Handcrafted right here in Wisconsin, Carbless is a ready-to-drink vodka and tequila cocktail. Perfect for hanging out on the patio by the grill, chilling on the lake, or tailgating at the Brewers game. Plus, it's got 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. All summer, make sure you're following Carbless on Instagram at Drink Carbless for your chance to win a Summer Bliss prize package. Find Carbless online and at retailers near you. Carbless. Liss is more.
Hey, welcome to the IKEA Midsummer Sale. Hello. Save up to 50% on outdoor furniture and indoor essentials and have your best summer.
Oh, how about storage for my inflatable flamingos?
We've got you covered. Let's turn your space into a summer haven with space for birds.
Awesome.
Visit us in store from June 12th to July 9th or at ikea-usa.com/midsummer. Offer valid dates may vary. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store and ikea-usa.com/midsummer for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
I'm Ben Jewick with Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors. The crew is winning ball games here in Milwaukee and around the country. Our team stands ready to help your organization win across North America. Powered by Coakley Connect, our revolutionary facilities management platform. The Coakley crew supports clients across the country manage their real estate portfolio, offering facility-focused products and services, interior design, construction, new furniture, installation, and move management. We'll help you create and manage interior environments that drive your teams forward. Visit CoakleyBrothers.com and hit a home run.
We all experience daily struggles, and with so many concerns to be conscious of, breathing should not be one of them. Mark Tauscher here for Advent, and if you're like me and have had snoring issues, sinus problems, or difficulty breathing, then you'll want to meet the team at Advent. The team of Advent specialists have a few simple steps to help evaluate your individual limitations and get you back to breathing well. Since Advent addressed my snoring and nasal breathing issues, I feel great. I've never slept better, and my wife Sarah is incredibly appreciative. The team of Advent specialists listened to my struggles, found the best solution for me, and customized it to my needs. Take my word for it and go to adventknows.com to learn more about simple solutions to snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems. And schedule your appointment today, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
See what everyone is talking about at the club at Lac La Belle. The birthplace of golf in Wisconsin has a rich history you will feel upon arrival. The historic course is open to the public 7 days a week. Experience a round at the club at Lac La Belle. Schedule your tee time today at club@laclabelle.com. Looking for more golf? Take advantage of same-day replay rates and enjoy fine dining and event space after your round. An historic past meets a vibrant future. Go to club@laclabelle.com to start your journey.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Evan Cohen is the host of Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings 5 to 9 a.m.
Who's less likely to go hunting, Evan or Wilde? Like, the more we've been doing this now, those two they're eerily similar in way more ways than I thought. Way more similar.
Wilde's never going hunting. I'm pretty confident in saying that. So
I don't think Evco is either.
Evan, good morning. You got everything stocked up in the chest freezer for the big party you're going to be hosting in about a month for your Unsportsmanlike crew?
Oh, my God. What a disaster this is becoming.
Have you ever been more wrong about something? Like, you were admonished by pretty much every text, tweet, and guest that came on your show this morning.
Wait a minute. Okay, first of all, good job by you. Thank you for bringing that up from our show this morning about the idea of the meat from hunting in the freezer, or the second freezer, I should say. It was a big theme in terms of the garage.
Yep.
I never said people didn't do it. I said I was unaware of it. So, wait, Tausch, you're saying by me being unaware of it, I'm wrong? Isn't that just I'm ignorant to something?
Okay, unaware or just completely obtuse. I don't know how you want to look at it. You could look at it from both sides of it. But the fact that you didn't comprehend that at all makes me wonder, Joshy Big Cat DiMaggio said it might be a geographical thing. I understand it's space is a little tighter, but you have like a mammoth estate up in Westchester. I would think that you got like freezers everywhere up there.
What do you mean I have a mammoth estate? Where are you getting off?
Because I listen to your show daily. I hear Canty. Canty's got his great place in South Carolina, but he's always talking about, it's not the gated community spot that you got.
You don't realize that that's deflecting? You don't realize that is getting away from the fact that this guy said
Smalls does it too. She's telling you how big the gated community. All I hear is gated community when I hear from you.
I do not live in a gated community. I promise you.
Well, I don't care. I mean,
everything.
Hey, kudos to you if you do. I'm not mad about it, but I'm just shocked that you didn't have any concept that people have an extra fridge. Like Jesse goes up north and he tries to win these meat raffles. He needs to have an extra freezer.
Gotta have the extra freezer.
I catch a ton of salmon. I'm, the rugged outdoorsman I am, going and bringing all this. You gotta have a spot to put this stuff.
Wait, but Tausch, I never said I don't have an extra freezer. I said I don't have hunted meat in the freezer.
Oh, well, I missed that part. I thought that was the main premise of the whole argument. Okay, so
I
was just.
If we're going to be real about this, do you want to be real about it?
I don't.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
I don't think I want to be real about it. I don't.
Okay.
No.
Well,
if you want to, go
it.
for it. But yeah, if you want to, go for it.
All right. Well, okay. Here's the reality. The God's honest truth. Sorry, I'm in the parking garage. I have a.
Hey, just wait. Are they? Hey, Evan, you're in the parking garage. Are all the spaces available, or is there 4 floors that are canceled out because somebody's power washing?
What? What happened?
The first segment of the show, I was ranting because I'm in studio. I go to park today, and 3 of the floors are blocked off with police tape and cones because they're power washing for the 3rd straight day, which just blew my mind.
Yeah, that would bother me.
And he rolls the window down to ask the guy why.
In the middle of the day,
while.
they're doing it, not at night.
Yeah, that would bother me. That's not right. That is not right.
Thank you, Evan. That's the first time I've agreed with you.
It's like a construction. Well, construction should be done overnight, right?
Road construction, parking garages. Yes, I couldn't agree more. Yes. All right. What was your point?
Couch is onto something.
Thank you.
What was my point?
Yeah.
My point is, what was? Oh, I have 4 different freezers and fridges in my house.
Whoa! 4 freezers. Wow. Wow.
Jeez, what are you doing with all that?
Somebody's doing really well. Yeah. Congratulations on all your success.
Wow.
Wow. What?
4?
4 freezers? I don't know if Bill Gates has 4 freezers.
Well, no, I need to explain myself, okay? I need to explain myself. So only 2 of them.
I don't think you do. It sounds like you're crushing life.
I think we figured it out.
We need to ask you questions, I think is what happened.
The couch. Well, I mean, Jesse, like a fridge, like a mini fridge.
That's not what you said. You're saying big freezers.
No, I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not.
Okay. Well, I love how uncomfortable you're getting. All right. Go ahead. So why do you have so many freezers if you're not getting hunted meat?
So basically, when I used to do the show that I was on prior to Unsportsmanlike at home, in the basement, I'm like, you know what? Why don't I put a fridge in there, like a mini fridge in there, because of the fact that I am going to be down there by myself in the morning. I don't want to have to go upstairs, wake up my family when I need something. Why not put it down there? So I did that. Then I think we got one as a gift, like a mini fridge. So that's 3 now, with the one that I own, obviously, in the kitchen, and then those 2. And then we realized, we kind of need a full-fledged one, so I bought another one, but I didn't throw out the other one. So that's how you get to 4. So what I've done with that since, I have the regular fridge or freezer combo, whatever, in the kitchen that comes with the house. I have another big one, regular size, in the basement. I have 1 mini one in the garage and 1 mini one, you'll be into this, in the guest room where we have like a drawer kind of thing on the desk that's supposed to be pulled out for a printer, that I actually put a mini fridge for when somebody stays at the house.
For water.
Like a hotel room. Yeah.
Evco. Yes, very nice. That's
all right. That's actually considerate. Now I don't want anybody staying at the house, but nonetheless.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, that is really nice. Well done by you.
Setting up to Airbnb that house out. It seems like what the plan would be there. Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio joining us.
There's no plan to Airbnb. Where would you get that? Why would you make that leap?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, why would you, Jesse?
Where's the only other place that you would have a mini fridge in a room that you're also sleeping in?
I'll say this: it's always nice if you're staying with friends. If you're staying with friends and you're in the guest room, and they leave a couple of bottles of water by the nightstand, you're always like, "Gosh, that's thoughtful." And sometimes, they leave a toothbrush.
Right.
Any of those little things, little shampoos that are fresh and clean, not like some old stank bar of soap that you got to use, but like fresh.
You're just describing a hotel.
No, you're describing thoughtful friends.
No.
But he doesn't invite people over. This is entirely for Airbnb.
If you don't think he invites people, if you don't think he invites people over, he's not having people stay in his house when he's not there. Like, you're much more apt to invite people over than to have people come to your house when you're gone.
Well, how else is he going to pay for this beautiful monster mansion in Westchester?
He's got 7 jobs. He works hard. All right, Evco, continue to tell me how right I am. I always appreciate that, yes.
Tausch is so right on so many levels. I don't even know if you have enough time in the show for me to go on about how right Tausch is. Let's go through this for a second.
Okay, let's do it.
First of all, conceptually, What a great observation. If I don't want people in the house when I am there, why the hell would I want them in the house when I'm not there?
You definitely would not.
Of course not.
No.
Of course not. That's number one. Number two, another great observation by old T today. If you go and stay at someone's house and they actually put care in setting up a guest room for you, you are so likely to want to come back.
Tier
if
1.
they don't, and you have that half-used Pert Plus shampoo, and you have, the bar of soap that you don't want to know where the hell it's been.
You
and
know
you
where it's
feel
been.
Like you need,
yeah.
All right. And you feel like you need flip-flops in the shower, and the shower curtain is so old it's turning all rotten and brown in
Should
there.
call Kohler
and the
Services.
light is-
Hey, let me play. You should call Kohler Services first of all and help them get their
That's right.
bathroom stuff together. Okay, continue.
That's right. And you are now going to think differently about that friend. What Tausch is actually presenting is the Tauscher family, if they are to have a guest, is obviously entertaining someone that they like and that likes them. But what the Tauscher family is then doing, saying, you know what, guest X, we want to be number one in the power rankings of your friends. And if we put together a great guest bathroom and we have water bottles by your bed, we are moving to number one overall. We are the Patrick Mahomes of guests, of rooms and houses that you could stay in.
So I have a question. I got a question for you.
He's putting basically a Nathan Peterman together in his house is what he's doing.
Yeah, you don't want people over there, Jesse.
I have a friend who's a tier 1 friend coming up tonight with his dog, Corey and Rufus. Rufus is coming
Yeah, but
back
you
again.
complained and thought it was really IPT that he asked you to watch the dog for 2 weeks. And by the way, you were right.
Yeah, it was a long time to watch his dog when the dog doesn't listen very well. They're coming up tonight. You're telling me we've got a guest room they stay in. We got the bed made. The bathroom is plenty clean. We've got the bottles of shampoo and body wash that is only for guests. That's out in the bathroom downstairs, nice and clean, ready for him to. You're telling me there's a huge difference between if I put a bottle of water on the nightstand or not for Corey when he's
Everybody
sleeping
likes to have a little water.
100%.
Yeah, gotta have
100%.
water. Yep.
100%. Because if you think about what that actually alleviates, it alleviates an ask from a guest who's already made the
Yep,
ask.
and they're like,
Because
gosh, I feel welcome. I can't, they really want me here, and I really appreciate that.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And that's what makes Evan so nervous about hosting this party in a month or whenever it is with your whole unsportsmanlike crew. You sounded this morning, and I'm driving in, you sounded jittery and like nothing. It's one of those can't-win situations that you put yourself in, and you don't know what the results are going to be because all it takes is one or two bad things. You have a bad bowl of punch or whatever it might be, and the entire party could be a disaster for you and great fodder for the radio.
That's right. You're 1,000% right. Again, this is you're onto something. It's a good day for you today.
Yeah, I'm having a good
job.
day. Feel fresh.
Good job.
All those extra steps from the parking garage has got my mind really working.
All right, good job by Bulaga scripting your takes today. Excellent.
Yep.
I think that you're right. How about this, Tausch? I'm sure you've thought the same thing. You have people over. Are they going to judge you? You have too nice of a house, or do you have not enough of a nice house, right? Because they have built me as having this mansion.
Yeah, that's
and then
for
it's
sure.
This is fine. This is fine. But then if it's wait, why does he have such a nice house? What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, does he make so much more than I do?
Yes.
It becomes a salary thing in many ways. Plus, they have not met my wife. My wife is wonderful. You have met my wife. Is it a thing where it's why is she with him? Which I would say. Is it, I don't get their relationship because she's wonderful and he's him? Then I have to think about that. In addition, what type of food are you getting? If I hire people to help with catering, he's going to have people helping at the house.
Mm-hmm.
If I hire, there's just so much pressure.
Are you doing a sit down? Don't do a sit down. Would be my thing. You have to have.
No.
Okay, good.
No, I'll tell you what the leader in the clubhouse is right now. Tell me what you think about this. The leader in the clubhouse, because it's been a theme on the show, is hiring a company that does at-home hibachi.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. That sounds absolutely fantastic.
Sounds bougie is what that sounds like.
It's bougie, but it's fantastic, yes.
I mean, Jesse, we could sit here and deny it. How the hell are we not going to be bougie with this crew? I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, why wouldn't you just do burgers and brats and dogs, throw them in the crock pot, and have everybody come over and paper plate, make
call
your
it
own?
Musty mac and cheese. That's what
have
Jesse
a great day.
So
Chips,
how many hibachi
beans,
grills will you
cookout.
have there? Not just one, right?
I don't know because I haven't done that. I haven't done the homework
boy.
yet on how that's going to happen.
I am
So
curious
that's
how
not
that
the whole
plays. That is a fantastic.
That sounds like way
And
too
by
much
the-
work.
and by the way, Tausch,
Yep.
I'm paying for it, I guess. Like, I'm not asking them for money. I'm not going to expense it, right? In very tricky spots. I mean, it's going to be thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it'll be very expensive. I can't imagine what a hibachi in Westchester County in a gated community. I have no idea how expensive that's going to be. So before you had another great point that I agreed with big time today. I'm going to bring up, but what would you do if a former quarterback, teammate of yours, stayed at your house and only brought a toiletry kit? That's all that this quarterback brought. And then 3 years later, your wife says, "What do you want me to do with this toiletry kit that you didn't know he left there?" Do you ship it back to him? Do you wait till you see him? Do you throw it out? Do you go through the toiletry kit? What would you do if that happened to you?
All right, interesting. So first of all, how do you not? You want to talk about a house being big? Your house must be so big you don't even notice a toiletry kit.
No, we got a nice house. Yeah, I'm not. Hey, listen, I'm not going to run. We got a nice house. I enjoy our house. Yeah, not gated, but I do enjoy it.
Part of your house. There's a part of your house where you guys do not frequent to a point that 3 years later you notice that someone left something.
Well, in fairness, I think Sarah noticed it probably like 2 or 3 days after. But then I just I don't, whatever. It's fall. It's busy. I'm not going to worry about it. And then just recently, for my birthday, she did a big. I had complained about her not having pictures hung up and some boxes still. She did a big sweep while I was in Peru. She did that, got home, and it was awesome. And then she brought back, "Hey, I found this. What do we want to do with it?" And that's why I thought I'd bring it up because we've been talking about house guests, etc.
Yeah. I think considering who your former quarterbacks were, you may want to put that on eBay. Is really the move. I mean, you're always looking to make money.
Some old toothpaste and some used razors and like an old crap.
Jason's the eBay expert. Let him help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason sells his own hangers.
That's
If
actually.
you were to sell,
What a great point. I will give this to Jason to sell on eBay. That is what a great idea. Beautiful idea, Evan. That's what we're going to do, especially in June and July. All right, Evan, before we let you go, you said something beautiful today. And I had thought of it, the idea that...
You're being way too nice to each other today.
Well, sports are much better off when there is a dynasty.
my God, it's not even close. Anyone who argues otherwise is nuts.
Go ahead.
Nuts. Oh, I'm just going to say, anybody who argues otherwise is nuts. Let me tell you something right now. Every Packers fan listening on ESPN Wisconsin, okay, if I told you the Packers were not going to be the dynastic team, understand this. It is still good for the sport that you love more than any other sport if the Bears are the dynasty team. You can deny it till the cows come home. It is so much better for every single sport to have a dynasty team that you can live through and watch even if you hate them. My favorite NBA team is the Miami Heat. I hate the fact that the Celtics could enter into a dynasty. You know
And
what
they
I also
celebrate
realized?
down in Miami just to rub it in a little
I
bit?
don't think that's not exactly what they're doing. I talked to a friend of mine today about that. You know, Udonis Haslem. And we had this conversation. They are absolutely doing that on purpose because every other team celebrated in Vegas when they win the championship. That's become a thing. You don't think that's on purpose? They're going to Miami? Of course it is. Point that I'm making is, what am I, an idiot? Of course the NBA is better if the Celtics win all these titles now moving forward. It's so much more interesting. You are just, not you, Tausch, but people are lost if they don't yearn for the days of the Warriors. Because guess what? Everyone listening whose favorite sport is likely football right now probably hated the Warriors. Do you hate the Celtics and the Mavs?
Do we
No, you
hate
don't.
the Chiefs, though, right now?
Well, we will. Not yet, but we will.
I think it is trending that way. I'm starting to not like them.
This is what I wanted to say in response to this, that I don't think it's about dynasties. I think sports are better when there's a clear villain. The Miami Heat with LeBron and the Big Three was a clear villain. The Golden State Warriors...
4 years in a row.
That was dynastic. That was dynastic.
Golden State was likable until Durant got there. Then it got more
But
interesting
they were
because
dynastic.
they became the villain.
They're both dynastic teams. You're proving Evan's point.
Exactly.
I'm trying. Well, how many times has there been a villain?
Jesse, okay, name me a villain in sports that's not part of a great team for on-court reasons. I don't mean someone that's done something bad off the court, obviously.
You can't.
Ndamukong Suh?
Yeah, and Ndamukong Suh.
He won a championship in Tampa.
Well, we were talking about when he was with the Detroit Lions and he was stomping on.
I agree, but that's Packer fans. He's talking like big picture.
Maybe it's semantics, though. Villain and considered a bad guy are two different things. And by the way, Couch could probably vouch for this. Everyone says Ndamukong Suh is actually a great guy that did bad things on the field.
Yeah, I don't know how great of a dude he is, but he was a really. I mean, tell you one thing, he's strong as a bull. That I know. Your argument just doesn't hold any water.
Right now, I think what made the NBA Finals boring for me is there was no villain to root against. Boston was, you want them to be a villain, but they're not yet. No, last year was boring too.
But if Denver was in it and they would have won back-to-back and Jokic would have skipped out on the parade to go back to his home country to play with his horses, all of a sudden he'd be a thing.
No,
it would
they're too
be better
likable.
for the NBA.
They're too likable. They're too boring.
Steph Curry is maybe the most likable player of our lifetime, and he was on the most villainous team in the last 10 years in sports.
Not until Durant got there. And then
exactly.
When Draymond started doing his stuff. Yeah, right. But
how do you know that? Because they won.
Until Durant got there, I was pulling for Golden State in those first couple of finals. I was excited when they were in it. I wanted to watch them. But the dynasty portion, it happened to coincide with when Durant got there because they didn't win the one year. And they're like, well, we got to get better. Let's get the best player in the game to come join the team. And then they became the villain, and it was so much fun to root against them when they went on those huge winning streaks and made it to the finals all the time. And LeBron with the homecoming stuff.
You're literally proving Evan's point.
Are you arguing my side or your side? Which
I don't know.
Yeah,
to me, I was actually thinking it was Evan talking.
The longer a dynasty goes on, there's a better chance that it becomes a great villain. But Denver's a great example. If the Denver Nuggets went to 3 straight finals, they wouldn't be a villain. Jokic isn't a villain. Jamal Murray's not a villain.
Oh my God! Oh, really? So, all right. So let's start with Michael Porter Jr., whose brother gets kicked out of the NBA for gambling and has 2 other brothers in jail. You don't think that becomes a storyline if they win 2 straight? You don't think so?
Not with the role he played on that team last year. No, he's not one of the 2 or 3 best players on the team.
Jesse, you could not be more off on this.
Yeah, I know he's really wrong.
You're applying your current logic towards a team that's not dynastic to when they become dynastic, and en route to get there, they would make moves and say things that would get fans to either love or hate them because they'd be in the spotlight more and more.
That's a fun word, dynastic. Dynasties are good for sports, period, end of story, boop, boop, boop. Evan, before you go, Udonis Haslem, you have raved about him. He's now on ESPN. You see him all the time. Where do you rank him? And since Jesse is hosting with me, where's his tierdom on your friendship level? Where you want it to be tier 1? Do you think he views you as a friend? How have you approached this? Because you probably were a little googly-eyed when you first started and you first met him, and now you're trying to. Is it become more natural, that friendship? Give us a kind of a little preview.
Yeah, that's a good question. We're getting there because I think I maybe I've gone a little too googly-eyed at time. I'm not going to lie about that.
Give me the worst googly-eyed thing you've done. What have you done? That's googly.
Well, I was literally late for a segment today because I was talking to him in the hallway outside of the bathroom. Okay. I don't know that you can get more googly than that.
It's pretty googly.
That's googly.
You know what I was? I was Tom Googly.
Tom Gugliotta. Yeah, I remember Tom. Pretty good little wing. Actually would be really good in today's NBA. A stretch 3 or 4 that could shoot it a little bit.
No, I actually think Tom Gugliotta would be more of a stretch 4 or 5 in today's game.
But he can shoot, and he's a big dude. That's what today's NBA is about. So Googs would be better in today's game than he was probably back in the old days.
How would he be viewed on the Nuggets?
Probably.
He'd be part of a dynastic operation.
Terrible drop in, Jesse.
Thank you, Evan.
I still don't understand Jesse's argument. We like villains, and here's why. When they win a lot, we start to hate them, which is a dynasty.
So college football, Clemson had a dynasty for, 5-6 years?
We started started to hate Dabo.
Yeah, everybody hated Dabo. Now he's kind of almost becoming...
I view Clemson as like a non-fan. I'm like, blah.
Yeah, but now. That's not where they were 2 or 3 years ago.
No, but a few years ago, it was the same thing.
Remember, Dabo was the number one guy in terms of anti-NIL, anti-transfer portal. We started hating him. I mean, you're telling me people listening in the great state of Wisconsin right now don't have opinions on Nick Saban? I guarantee if you were just to take the dynastic people and programs and teams over the last 10 to 15, 20 years in sports, and you would open up the phone lines and say, give me your opinion on this person, whether it's Belichick or Brady or Mahomes or Reed or Curry or Durant or Nick Saban or any of these people that you would look at and say, do you have an opinion on them?
But since they've retired, I think Nick Saban now is going to be universally loved. I agree that he was hated at Alabama, but the respect and what he accomplished, now everybody wants to pick his brain and listen to what he has to say. Same thing with Belichick. I think Belichick is hated. Oh, he cheated, he did this. So while it's going on, yes, but then I think there's so much admiration after they're done and it's over that people flip that script and time brings it back that they're loved after they're hated.
And because of the fact they had a dynasty, they're top of mind for all of us. You could be an all-time great, not have a dynasty, retire, and not be top of mind. For example, Roy Williams, one of the greatest college basketball coaches ever. Nobody has, maybe Wisconsin does like I do because of the Dick Bennett stuff years ago where he ripped Wisconsin. But you get my overall point. Like, nobody really has an opinion on him because we all, great coach. All right, next. Like, everyone has an opinion on those teams and players for those dynastic teams. When you say it's better for sports, I think it is sports, Tausch. I think sports lose out when they don't have dynasties, and those leagues should be working every single day to figure out how can we legally, morally, and ethically create a system where dynasties can exist.
Maybe like what the W is doing. Maybe this whole thing with the W isn't all this strife and everything that we're hearing about. Maybe it is part of the plan, and if it is, I totally think it's a great move because passion drives sports, and passion, love and hate, not just love. That's a wrap.
Wow.
That was pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably my best ever with Evan Cohen. Evan, we appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week, and we'll get a little bit more because I think Jesse just had a party. We didn't even get to that today. We'll discuss the party planning
I got
piece.
some tips for you when we talk to you next week, Evan, on having the office over for a party at your house. We did it last weekend. I'll give you some pointers.
Musty mac and cheese.
Yeah, you're the one I want pointers on. Yeah, thanks, Jesse.
Bye, Evan.
Bye.
That went a lot of different routes, but your whole argument on rivalries and dynasties made no sense.
No, it does make sense. We'll dive further into it here in a minute.
I don't know if we do. It's a pretty shallow pool.
More next, Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Sunday Night Baseball is in the Windy City this week as a couple of squads look to make their way out of the basement.
Near the wall, looks up, and scored! Ian Happ gives the Cubs a cushion.
The Cubs host the Mets at Wrigley Field.
Pete Alonso with a 3-run homer, and the Mets have taken a 4-1 lead.
Our Sunday Night Baseball coverage starts at 5 o'clock. We are your home for Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio, 94.5 ESPN, and streaming on the Wisconsin On Demand app.
Are you not able to enjoy this summer as much as you want because of joint pain? This is the best time for being outdoors, but not if your knees, your shoulders, back, or hips are hurting. Hey, this is Brad Nortman. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting joint pain relief. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your body's own ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, so you can run, walk, hike, play golf, and move again, all pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. Stop putting it off. Take action now and live your best life again. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. It's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman, here from Kyle Bruston Nortman. The grand opening of the newest Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek is here. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Take advantage of the grand opening special at Lady Jane's. Haircuts are just $20. That's right, a precision haircut. Hot lather, neck shave, and shampoo for just $20. Lady Jane's in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
Who's ready to save a bucket load at Fleet Farm? Just buy one of our signature 5-gallon buckets for $3.99 and get 15% off anything that fits inside it. Save on Daiwa, Daredevil, and Trilane, DeWalt, and Milwaukee hand tools. Save on snacks, grilling gear, and more. Any qualifying products that fit in the bucket are 15% off now through June 26th. Our bucket sale is just another great way to save on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Come escape to Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy stunning lakeside views, on-site golf, award-winning spa, and numerous dining options, including 1878 on the lake. Dive into the pools, explore water sports, or relax by the lakeside fire pits. Experience Lake Lawn Resort's newly renovated guest rooms, part of a multi-million-dollar upgrade for ultimate comfort and luxury. Whether it's a romantic getaway, family vacation, or corporate retreat, Lake Lawn Resort has it all. Book your stay at Lake Lawn Resort today and discover the perfect blend of adventure and relaxation.
Hey everybody, it's time for the excitement of summer sports. And I say the best way to take summer sports excitement to the next level is with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Game on. With a community of over 5 million players, Prize Picks is the most exciting way to get in on summer sports action while watching your favorite teams and players. Baseball, America's pastime, is just starting up, while soccer, pro tennis, esports, and especially women's basketball are more popular than ever. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in as little as 60 seconds. And with Prize Picks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 during a single game this summer. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 players' stat projections, and you're locked and loaded. So get ready to enjoy the best fantasy sports app available. Download the Prize Picks app now. Enter code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. Enter code WI on the Prize Picks app for a first deposit match up to $100.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Urban Meyer.
What about him?
Better villain for college football than Dabo Swinney or Nick Saban.
Oh, for sure.
Or Kirby Smart.
For sure. It's because he was a jerk store, though.
Right. He's a better villain, and he never had a dynasty at Ohio State.
He did not, but he kind of did within the Big Ten. He did.
He won back-to-back at Florida, and sure, the Ohio State was good, but when we're talking dynasties, we're not talking... The Green Bay Packers don't have a dynasty because they won a bunch of NFC North titles.
I agree. They had a dynasty in the 60s. And I think when you talk about Urban Meyer, it's because of his smugness. I think it's because of all the success. I think it's because of a lot of the off-the-field stuff. Nick Saban, I never hated Nick Saban. I appreciated and respected what Nick Saban was able to build. Same thing with Dabo. Now, there gets a point where you get sick of it. And I think Evan's point is, you don't want milk toast. I don't want just plain old bread, okay? I want sourdough. I want a little something on there. Get a little spice. You don't want just to have bland. And I think sports have become too bland. The NBA season this year was way too bland. For as much as I've railed against LeBron and what he did back in the early 2010s, it was really good for the game because a lot of us thought this is the easy, lazy way to go try to win a championship. You didn't really want to grind. That's how I felt. And then I was rooting against him. I didn't care if it was the Spurs, the Suns. I didn't care who. I just wanted someone to beat him. And there are a lot of people that felt the other way. That's what's good for sports. Same thing with the Patriots. You either loved and respected what the Patriots did or you thought they were cheating, no good blankers. Great for both sides. You don't want to have disengagement. And a lot of times when sports just gets to be a cute, nice story, it's fun for the first year. But what would be good for the NBA, obviously we're going to want the Bucks to win another. We want the Bucks to be a dynasty, and I want half the country to hate them. That's what I hope for. And if you're a Boston Celtics fan, you should hope for that too.
The San Antonio Spurs of the 2000s, first decade of where they won those titles. They were a dynasty. They were not interesting.
I'll tell you who hated them.
They were not hated.
TV network executives hated them.
Sure. But that doesn't
Charles
make them,
Barkley never wanted to go to San Antonio.
That didn't make the NBA more interesting because the Spurs were good.
And I don't think the NBA would say we want to see the Spurs do what they did. I think the NBA loves all of the drama. And that's why they push all this the player movement. And the off-season, typically, of the NBA is more interesting than the actual season, which I don't think is good either.
And what makes for the best drama? Heroes and villains.
Well, no,
and
blank.
that doesn't,
and you only
doesn't
really
rely on a dynasty to
But
have
it
that.
does. That's the part you don't fully understand.
John Calipari.
He is one.
No, he is a villain, and he did not have a dynasty at Kentucky.
He didn't have a dynasty, but he...
Best villain in college basketball up until last year.
Mike Krzyzewski for me, and they did have a dynasty.
And they did, sure. When you were doing your golf fishing biathlon yesterday, how many Coors Lights were involved?
Well, we had a couple of Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it is made to chill the mountains on. Coors Light's cold activated bottles and cans. I made sure it was blue, and that's when I knew it was chilled to perfection. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company at Golden, Colorado.
All right, we're going to get to Green Bay Packers conversation next. A development in the three-way kicking competition yesterday up in Titletown, and then there were two. We'll find out which two are left and get Tausch's thoughts on the kicking competition as it continues into training camp. That's all in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Discover the difference at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Higher Love Cannabis Company is the only cultivator in the UP offering organic, clean green certified products. That means quality you can trust every time. With 7 locations across the UP, including Menominee, Norway, and Ironwood, finding your higher love is easier than ever before. And for our friends in Green Bay, Higher Love is less than an hour away. Kindness starts with you. Experience Higher Love today. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD and follow them on social media at Find Higher Love.
The hottest deals of the season are going on now, exclusively at the Kunis Auto Group's Drive into Summer Sales Event. America's best-selling cars, trucks, and SUVs. From both Buick and GMC, all marked down to our lowest prices of the season. We're offering drive into summer savings and discounts on our entire inventory of select pre-owned vehicles. Choose from over 2,500 vehicles on lot and online. While online, check out dozens of drive into summer service specials on everything from brakes, tires, to oil changes. Plus, in June, with any new truck or SUV test drive, you'll automatically be entered to win a brand new Jayco travel trailer from Kunis RV.
Perfect sunny day.
All at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships in Greenfield and Oak Creek. It's the Kunis Auto Group's exclusive June Drive into Summer Sales Event. You'll love it too when you make the summer road trip
Perfect sunny day.
to shopkunis.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch.
How would you rank his better? SportsCenter's better.
For those listening in
Zurline.
ESPN Madison, you heard Alex Cravath, SportsCenter.
I like that he went back to the well.
He did go back to the... So Greg Joseph is the Packers kicker that is still vying in the competition with Anders Carlson. As you heard Alex G tell you in Madison, Jack Podlesny no longer.
Every
part
time
of
I
the
hear
team.
that,
He
I
was
think
cut
of Paul
yesterday.
Posluszny.
Paul Podluzny?
He was Posluszny, I
Penn
think.
State
Penn State linebacker,
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Very
Kind of
good.
a linebacker name.
Yeah, he was
Posluszny.
good.
That's not a kicker's name. What's his name again?
Podlesny?
Podlesny.
Jack Podlesny.
I'm not.
So it's Greg Joseph. For those who missed it,
Greg the Leg, some call him.
At 9 o'clock, Alex Tausch got on Alex G.
I didn't get after him.
You very much got after.
I just brought up a point.
G, did he get after you?
As this is my year debut on Wilde and Tausch, I felt attacked.
Yeah, it was
attacked.
Attacked.
It was the opposite of leaving a bottle of water for the guest staying at your house. That is the opposite of what happened.
Okay, that's
you
fair.
brought you dumped the water bottle on him because he was waking up.
Great job. I'm going to make sure. Good job, Gravy. Good job, AG.
Gravy? It's called
I'm workshopping some things.
I'm going to give myself a round of applause for that one.
Doing some workshopping.
All right. So the Green Bay Packers kicking competition, which I've put on our show sheet to talk about for a week since Rob Domofsky wrote about the three-way competition.
Yeah, we all knew it wasn't going to have three kickers going. And we all thought
yeah.
Podlesny was going to be the guy that got out.
And that is exactly what happened. So while the beat writers are away, everybody's taking their break until training camp starts in July.
So
the
they
Packers
just throw
decide,
kicker stuff out. So
let's
here's
get
the
rid of
thing.
Podlesny.
Last week, Jason brought up a really good point in talking to some folks over at Lambeau. And my opinion is they want Anders Carlson to win this job. And I firmly believe that. But I think one of the things that you look at it and you say, well, if it's a draft pick, they're always, if all things are even, you're going to go with the draft pick. And I think the fact that the special teams coach has had a different Carlson, Daniel Carlson, back when he was with the Raiders, and he had a lot of success. While he struggled in Minnesota, they cut him early. It's a pick. You want this kid to develop. You drafted him for a reason. You want him to do it. And when Jason said, I don't sense that's the case. Like, if it does, great. If it doesn't, normally you have your opinion and you want things to kind of work out a certain way. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And when you don't feel that way, and that is in essence what Jason said last week, my eyebrows perked up a little bit. Like, I know he struggled. He missed way too many kicks last year. But you brought him in because you know he's got a strong leg, and you hope that he's going to be able to kind of mature. And we keep saying with some of these other position players, let them grow. Jordan Love. After 1 year, if he would have had to have started right away, I don't think we would all be saying, let's give Jordan Love $55 million. So you can't sit there, and I understand kicking, it is instant, and you have no choice. You're not going to hold two kickers on a roster. That'd be crazy town. It's been done, but you don't want to do that. So I still believe that the Green Bay Packers and Rich Bisaccia want him to be their kicker. But I firmly believe if this will be an open, fiery, competitive, and I think probably the most competitive spot on this roster, and he's going to need to kind of up his ante and make sure if he's not producing, I don't think there's a doubt around that the Green Bay Packers will say, deuces B, we're going to move on with, and it might not be Greg Joseph either, because Greg Joseph's stats last year are no better than Anders Carlson's. So the thing about this, you saw the Lions picked up the kid from the UFL, I think the Michigan UFL team who made some long kicks. Last year, the Packers did not have championship aspirations. You can roll the dice a little bit more with a kicker. Late in the season last year, I think they regretted and wished they had maybe done something so they felt better about that spot, because we forget, Green Bay got a first down. Green Bay was moving the football that last drive to get a field goal to tie the game, and there wasn't anybody, including Rich, if he was being honest with you, that if Anders needed to hit a 47-yarder, that you felt like he was going to make it. You cannot have that, because you're telling your team things. And that was one of the things when Mason struggled in 2012. How do you rectify that part of it? You believe in him, you want to stick with him, but if he misses a kick at the end of a game and your team doesn't advance, that's on you too as a decision maker. That's the tricky part of this. So I think they hope Anders goes ahead and just kicks big time and wins this job, and there's no doubts. That's what they're hoping for. But when Wilde said that last week, it makes me think the Packers are very open to having someone else kick for them outside of it. I think he switched his number, but outside of what Anders has done.
I think you hit the nail on the head with a lot of points that you just made there. Tausch, Jesse and Tausch today, Wilde and Tausch, 844-770-3776, the number into the show. I think the question that I want to ask is, do you want Anders Carlson to be the Packers kicker? Like, are you hoping that this works out? Because when I sit here right now, and the things that you just said, and Jason said this at the start of last season, that it would be great to have a veteran kicker when you're going through all the rebuilding at the other positions, that if you have a game that you're exceeding expectations, coming down to the wire, that you're not losing it because a guy's missing a 40-yard chip shot. When you've got Mason Crosby, who's been doing this for over a decade, and he could put one through the uprights and really help solidify when you've earned a victory that you get that. Well, now the theme has changed because you're saying, Jason's saying, everybody's saying the Packers are one of the top teams. The ESPN Bet app, when I was in Illinois yesterday, looking at, can I put a couple things in for the season? The ESPN Bet app is saying that the Green Bay Packers are one of the teams that has a chance to go win the Super Bowl more than others. If that's the case, you can't be relying on a kicker who is as poor as Anders Carlson was last year. And if you're going to have either a second-year player who has those kind of stats and hasn't shown the improvement after an offseason, or a veteran in Greg Joseph who had comparable stats but has done this before in the big stage and has competed in postseason games, give me Greg Joseph. I think right now, if I had to say, and I know my takes about Packers kickers have been much maligned on this show over the years.
They've just been flat wrong.
I would rather have Greg Joseph than Anders Carlson today kicking game one in Brazil.
And why?
Because I think I would rather have a veteran kicker who has been
who had less of a kicking make percentage or about the same as Anders last year,
but who's
older and probably doesn't have a strong leg.
Who has made clutch kicks in postseason games. And you can have a chance to go win a Super Bowl knowing you have a veteran in that role rather than a rookie who struggled last year and a second-year player who hasn't shown growth.
I want Robbie Gould.
Robbie Gould or Mason Crosby could be great.
I wonder if Mason's still thinking about kicking. He did not finish. I don't think he finished great with the Giants last year.
No, but he had like one game.
Yeah, I think that ship has sailed. That's what's so fascinating to me about this is that I think your timeline is sped up. And I don't know if you can ever allow for a growth period with kickers. If you could, it would be with a young team that's developing and you don't have those championship aspirations. You have a team you think can win a championship. You cannot go into it. What did he kick? What was his kick percentage last year?
85%.
You can't be outside of 90%.
Right.
You need a kicker to be in that range.
Not if you're a Super Bowl contender.
Well, really, in any spot.
I think last year would have been the one exception where I was fine with Anders Carlson being a rookie who was drafted going through the process. I was fine with that last year. Like, it was a growing year for everybody. This year is no longer a growing year. You're expected to win the NFC North, or at least compete with the Lions for the top spot in the NFC, let alone the division. You're expected to make a deep postseason run after getting to the divisional round last year. Again, I'm looking at the ESPN Bet app yesterday, and the Packers are one of the favorites in the NFC. They're near the top of the conference, chances to win the Super Bowl this year of all the NFC teams. You got to do what's best for the team to try and win in the postseason this year, and if that means moving on from Anders Carlson because he hasn't shown growth and development over training camp, over mini camp, over the offseason, then you got to do it.
Well, how short of a leash are you going to give him? If he goes up to Brazil and misses 2 kicks, you cutting him? Let's say he has a great camp.
Who says he makes it to Brazil?
I'm saying he beats out Joseph. He has a really good camp, which is, I think, very, very possible.
Mm-hmm.
Kicks in the preseason, makes his kicks, and then he gets to Brazil and he misses 2. Like what old boy did against the Packers. Daniel Carlson, remember, they had a chance to beat the Packers a couple of times. He missed both. Missed an extra point. Are you going to just say, we're done with you? Are you going to give him some opportunities? Because the last thing you want to have is a kicker that's constantly looking over his shoulder. You want to say, you're our guy. Well, to what degree are you going to do that? Because if what we're saying is this is a championship team, and I think all Packer fans believe this team, don't know if you're going to win it this year, but should be and will be in the playoffs and have a chance to win a championship. You cannot have a kicker that's going to be in the low 80s. You can't. It's not doable.
844-770-3776. Do you want Anders Carlson to be the Green Bay Packers kicker this season?
Well, yeah, I want him, but I need him to be in the mid-90s. I need him to be higher. I need him to be better.
Yeah.
But I want him because, A, he's on a rookie contract. B, he's obviously got the tools, the talent to do it. Now, but if he's not doing it, I don't know what the threshold's going to be if they keep him where he's at, if he's missing a couple of kicks early in the season, because I think Packer fans will be clamoring incredibly loud if he's not improved and his accuracy isn't better.
We'll review some of your responses on the talk and text line. I'm going to get this poll in the field as well on Twitter at Wilde and Tausch. I also have a follow-up question on what you just said, Tausch, that I want to ask you about this kicking competition coming up here throughout this offseason into training camp. Jack Podlesny, on the other hand, is looking for work. Maybe you can make a recommendation to your friends at Johnson & Sons Paving.
Well, summer is here, and before you know it, you'll be prepping for winter. Johnson & Sons Pavings wants to make sure you are ready by remembering the 3 hours of parking lot and asphalt maintenance. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, warping, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare those customers or tenants with a bad parking lot again. I'm literally going to go down in Muskego, got baseball. I'm going to drive over and show. I'm going to try to get our whole team. I'm going to see if we can get a parade of our cars to go by just to see the parking lot in Muskego that we paved with Johnson & Sons. Visit johnsonsonspaving.com right now to schedule an appointment.
I mean,
how do you think the kids would like that? Hey, all right, guys, couple good wins, or hey, tough, whatever it might be in Muskego. After the game, I'm going to say, you know what? I really think you guys need to come and look at this parking lot to see what excellence is all about.
I've never been a big fan of parades. I can't say that parade would necessarily pique my interest if I'm a 12-year-old. Are there cupcakes that would be provided?
I don't know if there's got to be somebody's birthday coming up around Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, I think we could probably find cupcakes.
If you got cupcakes involved,
well, the place that we paved, there is a restaurant there. We could eat there.
Yeah, go eat lunch.
Maybe
there.
We will.
That's the way to handle this. Yeah, I mean, parade, I'm not so sure. 844-770-3776.
It didn't take 6 days to pave. We paved. We put the lines down, everything else, and it ain't taking as long as the parking garage getting washed. I can assure you that.
To get an update from the power washers coming up as well, along with your texts and your calls and voting in the poll on Twitter at Wilde and Tausch. Do you want Anders Carlson to be the Packers kicker this year? We'll review those responses next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Not just the $6 million man.
I play it out this year and walk in and say, hey, I want that number to start with a 6 next year. Why should I take a nickel less than the highest paid player in the history of the sport? Maybe it's 62, maybe it's $63 million a year.
Is Jordan Love about to become the $60 million man?
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Green and Gold Talk, right here on 94.5 ESPN. Streaming at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and found wherever you get podcasts.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. You can count on the Brewers to host an event your crew won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Many people with unique homes reach out to Pella because our team of experts can customize windows and doors that match architecture from any era.
I love that I have a home that is 100 years old. It's a historic district, and we didn't want to ruin the look by having modern windows in an older home. When I found out that Pella had an architecturally accurate product line, they simply guided us and helped us to make a great decision for our home.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 36 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Certain restrictions apply at 6/30/2024.
What are we doing today?
One of the employee owners has an idea.
Who is it?
Casey Goodson.
Well, hi, you must be Casey Goodson.
That's me. Casey has been with Kessler's for 22 years and became an owner 12 years ago.
We're excited to hear your idea, Casey.
I call it the One Collection.
But we've had special collections in the past.
What are you saying?
Casey, I think Rick is saying that this can't be the one collection because we've offered special collections in the past.
I'm not saying it's the first collection. It's a special collection of engagement rings for the woman that you know is the one. The one for you. The one forever. What's in it? Incredibly special rings for incredibly special women.
How much?
Most of them are between $725 and $2,800. I like it.
I like it.
Me too.
When you have found the one, you'll find her ring waiting patiently for you to come and pick it up at Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start
start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 5 to 8 ounce selected varieties Sargento Deli style sliced cheese, 2 for $6. 24-pack essential everyday purified water, 2 for $6. 10 to 12 ounce or 10 to 12 count selected varieties Green Mountain K-Cups or bag coffee, $5.99. 24 to 30.2 ounce selected varieties Edwards cream pies, $5.99.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take the mound at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
Donald Driver and Cousin Subs are teeing up to offer you a chance to win a golf experience of a lifetime. From June 10th to July 21st, you can enter to win a foursome in the 4th Annual Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame golf outing at the Brute Golf Course in Lake Geneva on July 29th. The grand prize winner will also get a VIP meet and greet with Double D himself, breakfast and lunch, and 4 $100 Cousins gift cards. Enter today at cousinsubs.com/drive-to-win.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Interesting returns to the poll question here early on.
Oh, I haven't looked yet. Interesting. I'm interested to find out what's so interesting.
Jesse and Tausch, Wilde and Tausch, Jason on assignment. He'll be back next week. 844-770-3776, where your texts are rolling in as well on the ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line. Yesterday, Jack Podlesny was cut by the Green Bay Packers, meaning there are 2 remaining in the Packers kicking competition heading into training camp. Greg Joseph, the veteran, and Anders Carlson entering his 2nd year. The poll question on Twitter, or X, at Wilde and Tausch, do you, we capitalized you, I know you like that, Tausch, do you want Anders Carlson to be the Packers kicker for the 2024 season? Thus far, and it's only been in the field for a few minutes, closing in on 100 votes, 54% no.
Well, he didn't have a good year last year. That's not surprising at all. I'm actually kind of surprised it's not even less. I don't know if it's going to be either of these two. There is just, kicker is one of those spots. It's almost a little more mercurial, unless you're Justin Tucker or someone that is just a bona fide proven gamer. There's so much movement. Guys that you think are really good, he'll have 3 or 4 bad games, and it can be, if you don't have a really strong organization, that's such a game-changing spot, because ask the Buffalo Bills. Their whole trajectory of their franchise, if Scott Norwood puts one in, it's a whole different animal. They're viewed in a different way. Matt Barr, who I don't think you probably remember, but made a kick against the 49ers with the Giants, a tough one. Robbie Gould comes in, kicks a 47-yarder against the Packers in a tough night, wind, all the stuff. And the Niners end up ending the Packers season. So it's a vital position for teams that are really good. It's an important position for all teams because these games are so narrowly won and lost that I totally understand why Packer fans are saying what he did last year is not going to be good enough for a team. And the Packers know that, and that's why they had Podlesny and everybody else here to push. And this competition, even when, let's say Anders wins in training camp, that's one of those spots where that competition continues on because it's probably the easiest position to interchange because there's so many veterans that'll be available.
So some of the responses coming in at 920 text. And remember, give us your name and where you're texting from, especially as we update our texting software here. 920 says, knowing what the Packers know now, I think they would have cut Carlson before the end of last year. He should have been on the shortest of leashes, and if he does miss 2 kicks in Brazil, he should be gone.
Yeah, I have a hard time getting my head wrapped around. I understand what unnamed is saying, but I think last year the Packers didn't realize that they were going to have the title chances that they ended up having. So I think Goody really would have loved to have kept Carlson, maybe a practice squad. They want you cut him, somebody's going to pick him up. So that might have been a case where they left him and then had somebody on the practice squad that they could elevate and have kick for some of these games, because they knew what they had was not going to be consistent and good enough in a clutch situation. And we were not that we were fortunate that Jordan Love threw across his body and made the bad decision at the end of that Niners game, but it would have been a great opportunity for Anders. I think that was one of those springboard, oh my God, he made that kick and that confidence grows, or it could have completely shelled him. He didn't have to do that. It gives him another bite at this thing. Hopefully his offseason's good and he'll be coming into camp chomping and ready to go. And by the way, that camp, we're only right around a month out from when these guys got to report.
So what are the other positions in sports that are most similar to kicker? I think goalies in hockey, although that's more important. That's more like a quarterback. But it's a skill set that's different than the other players involved. Yeah. And I think the closer in baseball.
I think that's a fair comp, closing. I think golfers, there's a reason kickers and golfers, because it's kind of on you. Yes, you need a snap. Yes, you need protection. But you strike the ball while you're going to make the kick.
But I think you need to say team sports for the sake of the question I'm about to ask, because you said how long is the leash for Anders Carlson this season? How long is the leash for the Edmonton Oilers goalie in the Stanley Cup final if he's having a terrible first couple of games when you got a chance to win a title? How long is the leash for a closer in baseball when you get into the playoff
For someone like Anders, who has not proven it and is is kind of unproven, it's a short leash. No, Mason Crosby was able to utilize his longer leash in 2012 because of all the success he had and the confidence that Mike McCarthy and the coaching staff had that he'd get it right. But even then, it was touch and go. And I think a lot of us thought, maybe just give Mason a break and let him kind of regroup. They didn't, and it turned out to be a wise decision, but nobody was thinking that in 2012 when he was missing kicks all over the place.
Another text from Mike and Racine. Do you want Anders Carlson to be the kicker this season for the Packers? Yes, if he earns the job. I'm sure he worked on his mechanics and things in the offseason. He has a strong leg and he's young, but if he does show weaknesses, then grab a vet for the playoff push. What do you think of that plan? Like, do you give him the whole season? You get to December and you're like, oh, this isn't working. We got to get someone else in
I don't. I don't give him the season. I also don't give him just one game if he wins the job. But I just think you have to be very quick to make a move because, A, you might lose out on a guy that you really want outside of Anders. But I don't want to give in either. I want to let these guys grow, but this is a position that there just doesn't. There's not that same time allotment that you get if you're a left guard, or if you're like Sean Ryan. And Sean Ryan couldn't play right away, and all of a sudden we're looking at him. He's going to be your starting right guard. There's different qualifications. There's different requirements that you need. Kicking, you got to be ready to go from the jump. And if you're not, especially on a team like Green Bay that has these aspirations, it's just the cold, hard reality of this business.
We'll circle back, take a look at how the poll question's going, and some more of your responses a little bit later in the show. 844-770-3776. Do you want Anders Carlson to be the Packers kicker next year?
Do you need Anders Carlson on that wall?
Do you need a new bathroom for the guests that
Sounds
you're
like
hosting?
You do.
No, we're fine.
If you do, I know exactly who you should call, and that is our friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services, a family-owned business, 150 years, one of the great companies of Wisconsin. And Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. This month only, 0 interest financing for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote. And you always get fast, professional installation. That is always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Jason Wilde is on assignment this week. He probably won't be happy about what we're going to do next.
Where's Wilde?
Man, he's on assignment. We're not playing that game. We're going to do something that Jason would frown upon.
Dan Orlovsky?
Close. You'll find out next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Peace.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
See what everyone is talking about at the club at Lac La Belle. The birthplace of golf in Wisconsin has a rich history you will feel upon arrival. The historic course is open to the public 7 days a week. Experience a round at the club at Lac La Belle. Schedule your tee time today at club@laclabelle.com. Looking for more golf? Take advantage of same-day replay rates and enjoy fine dining and event space after your round. An historic past meets a vibrant future. Go to club@laclabelle.com to start your journey.
I'm Ben Jewick with Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors. The crew is winning ball games here in Milwaukee and around the country. Our team stands ready to help your organization win across North America. Powered by Coakley Connect, our revolutionary facilities management platform. The Coakley crew supports clients across the country manage their real estate portfolio, offering facility-focused products and services, interior design, construction, new furniture, installation, and move management. We'll help you create and manage interior environments that drive your teams forward. Visit CoakleyBrothers.com and hit a home run.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
I joke around and with my wife and call it my bionic knee.
But before Ernest became a patient with QC Kinetics, it was a different story.
I'd go to bed with my knee throbbing, heat, ice. I would get up in the middle of the night to get a drink or something, and I would just be hobbling.
He wasn't able to play on his rec basketball team or work in the yard, but QC Kinetics regenerative treatments turned around the situation without surgery or downtime, using Ernest's own healing properties to help restore his aching knee, now known as Ernest's bionic knee.
I am really happy because I am playing the game that I love so much, and I'm playing with my granddaughter, and I'm gardening, and I'm on my knees, and I'm jumping up. I have a 200-pound dog, and I'm playing with my dog.
Now Ernest is living his best life thanks to QC Kinetics, and so can you. Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Discover the difference at findhigherlove.com/CBD. Higher Love Cannabis Company is the only cultivator in the UP offering organic, clean green certified products. That means quality you can trust every time. With 7 locations across the UP, including Menominee, Norway, and Ironwood, finding your Higher Love is easier than ever before. And for our friends in Green Bay, Higher Love is less than an hour away. Kindness starts with you. Experience Higher Love today. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD and follow them on social media at Find Higher Love.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and curbless, ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
When were you first left home alone as a kid?
I have no idea.
And did you break rule, like when your parents said, okay, you can stay home, but
well, would you consider
eating all
being
the
home alone when you
cookies?
had, on a farm and you had all the cows?
Yeah, I guess.
So you never really.
You guys kind of a different lifestyle than I lived growing up.
I would think so.
I was always, you know me, hall monitor. I was always good about following any of the rules that were left in place.
I would bet your parents didn't leave you home alone until you were like 12.
No, I was left home. I was an only child, so I was left home alone pretty early. So
how early?
I don't know.
Don't get your mom or dad in trouble.
No, 10 or 11, where it's just quick trip to the grocery store or whatever. Like, just, 10, 15 minutes it starts with, and then it gets a little bit longer after that, and you kind of grow into it. But there were always rules, like, don't eat all the cookies when we're gone. Like, actually have a full, lunch or take the dog for a walk, whatever.
Sure.
I feel like when Jason's gone for the week, he leaves us a few things that he would prefer we not do, but we kind of break the rules anyway.
Like what?
Well, he's not a big fan of Dan Orlovsky.
No, he wants us to do it while he's gone.
Oh, that's what you think this. It's like, it's the opposite. It's a list of chores to do while he's gone.
There's things that annoy him and irritate him, like, listening to other shows, some things that he holds monster grudges about that I think he's fine when it's, obviously if we could get Goody or Jordan Love, we would not do that without Jason.
He'd be pretty irritated.
Obviously. Charles Woodson.
I think we had LePay on one time when he was gone. He
David
wasn't too happy about that.
I think anyone Packer associated. But if we were going to get people that he doesn't like, I think we'd be better to do it when he's gone. Sure. And that's kind of how we've structured some things while he's taken a, well-deserved break, little vacation.
So one of the things that Jason does not like doing is promoting Colin Cowherd. And
no, he does not.
He does not like the work of the herd. However, we did see a clip surface on social media yesterday that we felt was too good to pass up because it does directly relate to so much of the Green Bay Packers conversation we've had this offseason about the Friends ensemble cast of wide receivers. Let's hear Tom Brady, new lead NFL analyst for Fox Sports.
By the way, he's going to be really good.
Better than Greg Olsen?
Yes.
Your doppelganger?
Greg Olsen is very good. Greg Olsen, by the way, I don't know if I'm going to say he's better than Collinsworth, but he's definitely better than our guy Romo.
Wow.
Well, that's not like some crazy
You're
statement.
So down on Romo. I think Romo's still great.
No, he's not still great. He was great. He's not anymore.
He bounced back last. He had a tough. He was down a year or two ago. He bounced back last year. He came back strong.
I don't know, Jim.
All right. Anyway, let's hear what Tom Brady had to say about number one wide receivers and getting them involved in the offense and an obligation he felt as a quarterback. This is about 2 minutes worth of content here from Tom Brady on The Herd with Colin. This is totally worth it, though. Sit back and enjoy Tom Brady on The Herd talking about number one wide receivers. Enjoy.
Yet you always felt like you had to do something to get them the ball. And if they hadn't touched the ball in practice, I'd make sure, hey, I got to get so-and-so ball because I want him to keep running hard. And I want him to be ready for when the ball does come. And, you see it a lot in NFL games. I've been practicing a lot of these games. I want to see the best players touch the ball early so they can break a sweat. They can get into the flow of the game. And good coaches do that. When you script plays at the beginning of the game, you're saying, okay, you're the Niners coach. I'm going to make sure McCaffrey touches it either first or second in the game. I want to make sure Deebo Samuel touches it first or second in the game. I'm going to throw it to him quick. Somehow I know the ball is going to be in his hands so he can do something with it. I want to get him into the flow. So we would always try to script so that everybody would feel like they were in the flow of the game. The last thing you want is your number one receiver to go 2.5 quarters into a game and not see a ball to get one target, because he's going to get discouraged. He's got to go out there. He's got to break the huddle. He's got to run out 25 yards to his alignment. He's got to run down the field as fast as he can, try to get open. He's got to run back to the huddle. It's a lot of effort that he's putting into not getting the ball. And I think when you can reward that guy early in the game and figure out, okay, where is he at? How do I get him the ball? And there's certain guys that are really easy to get the ball to. Certainly the guys that line up closer to the ball, the tight ends and the slot receivers, there's way more route options for them. It's way easier to get them the ball because they can go to basically every part of the field. Whereas that perimeter receiver, he's got the sideline to deal with. He really can't break out. If he breaks out, he's got 5 or 6 yards to deal with. A receiver at the tight end position or in the slot, when he breaks out, he's got 18 yards to deal with. So you have much more space to get him actually the ball. So, it wasn't hard to get Welker the ball. It wasn't hard to get Edelman the ball. It wasn't hard to get Gronkowski the ball. It was hard to get a perimeter receiver the ball. If they decide that they want to take a perimeter receiver out of the game,
roll out coverage.
You just roll the coverage to him. You play cover 2. You jam him at the line of scrimmage with someone over the top, and it's very, very difficult to get that guy the ball. But that also gives up a lot of other things. And you've got to be able to take advantage of those things. And that number one receiver has to understand, okay, they're making a concerted effort to take me away. Therefore, my other teammates have to produce when they're playing these coverages.
That was so good.
That's good stuff.
And, it's one thing to know all this stuff and be able to get it into a broadcast. I think Tom, one of the things he's going to have to learn on the job is those are really quick snippets. Like if teams go up-tempo or anything else, and there's no waiting. Like even though he's the GOAT, they're not going to wait. Hold up. I got a really good point here, Jordan.
Are you telling Tom Brady he wasn't concise enough in his commentary?
Well, this
here
isn't
with the herd?
Isn't the format, but what I'm saying is the insight that he gave right there. We've had this discussion for a long time about the receiving core. And the fact that he acknowledges and understands how the receiver mind works and how important it is as a quarterback to keep guys happy. And I remember talking to Brett in the mid-2000s about when he had Sterling Sharp. And Sterling Sharp, it was, I have to get him the football. He's so good. He's my comfort and kind of your security blanket. And that's a great thing to have. Can you keep the receiver's mindset that what he was just talking about, rolling coverage and everything else, because receivers want numbers. They want the football. And when they don't get it, and then someone comes around for contract time, well, you only had 85 catches this year, Johnny. Well, the coverages are rolled. Well, we don't care. That's that battle line that you have to get. And when Tom illustrated that and let you know how you wanted to get, you want guys that it doesn't matter. If you're not getting the ball and you have a clearing out route where you pull a safety with you, I can't have you going half speed because I'm pissed off I didn't get 3 touches already in the first quarter. Well, let's alleviate some of that by figuring out ways to get guys the ball. Keeping guys engaged is part of the process of having a good offense. Now, in an ideal world, that doesn't matter. You're not going to find 11 selfless players. You're not. I can tell you that. You can find guys that are really good teammates as long as things are going the right way. I don't want a ton of those guys, but sometimes the uber-talented players, that's how it works. So you have to understand that, and that's why it's such a complicated puzzle, and that's why the quarterback has to be selfless. And I am convinced Tom Brady, why he's been able to win the way he was, I firmly believe Tom Brady didn't give 2 rips if he threw 100 touchdowns or if he threw 30. Now, did he enjoy the season with Randy Moss? I'm sure he did because it shut up some critics. But I can assure you this, his favorite seasons wasn't that year. His favorite season was the next one that he won a championship in. And he had that mentality, and I think he also had an understanding, hey, maybe Jules Edelman didn't need to have 50 touches because he had that same mentality. But Randy Moss did. Or some of these other young receivers, because if you don't, and all of a sudden, now this guy didn't get any touches, and he doesn't run his clearing route hard enough, that safety sees that and can come down, and all of a sudden he can take Gronk out, or he can take Edelman out because this guy's not doing his job. He understands that whole piece, and that little clip covered so much of that, and that's why I'm excited to see and hear his analysis on some of these games.
And he should be on several Packers games we expect on Fox throughout the course of this year. A couple quick follow-up questions on what Brady said. So he talked about the guys in the middle of the field are easier to get the ball to. When you heard that commentary, were there any players from your career that stood out and you're like, yep, that was super easy for Rodgers or for Favre to get it to blank?
What I did think of was this concept that Matt LaFleur had. And if you remember, he was saying how they move Christian Watson around and how smart he is. That to me, because it is easier. You have option routes. You're out on the sideline. You're out playing, on the sideline. You run a slant. You run a post. You're not getting a ton of option routes because there's a sideline. So having guys move in motion, and if you remember Devontae, they were great at moving him around. That versatility that this ensemble cast has, you don't know. You might think, we can't let Christian Watson beat us. We can't let Reed beat us. Well, I don't even know where he's going to line up. And then I don't know about motion and all that. That's the beauty of this ensemble cast. Whereas in the past, if you just put Devontae out wide or Jordy out wide, it's, okay, well, we'll roll, like Coward just said, you roll the coverage. And it's great if you have players that understand that and say, well, man, I'm giving Dobbs all these opportunities because I'm getting a safety and he isn't. That's great as long as everybody understands it, because fans aren't going to understand it. Fans are going to say, well, Watson's only got 8 catches on the year. What's wrong with Watson? And you could sit and explain, it's the same thing with a D lineman. He's getting doubled 3 times, and that gives Rashawn Gary one-on-one opportunities. He's killing it. That's great. But if I'm Kenny Clark, I'm like, well, yeah, I don't have any sacks because they're doubling me. That's those and it is important for the team to understand it and for its leaders, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And it sounds like Tom Brady, that's one of the reasons he's cracked that code, because he understood that whole concept.
844-770-3776. You're going to want to have that phone number to play trivia here in just a moment. 844-770-3776. The guy that I thought of when I heard Tom Brady's commentary there was Jaden Reed. So you're saying Christian Watson in the motion getting around. I think Jaden Reed, like, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he's already doing
like
that.
Exactly, and that's what I thought.
The question I have is, you have these guys that you put out on the perimeter, especially young players, and especially as competitive as it's going to be. You got Tucker Kraft, you got Musgrave in the middle. That, it basically, if you remember, Gronk, pretty big part of the offense, and before Aaron Hernandez's whole ordeals, that was something that they really. And Edelman, Welker, easy to get the football to. Randy Moss, certainly easy the one year to get the football because he's such a great talent. And everybody understood people had to roll coverage to Randy Moss, and some of these other receivers ended up having big years because of that coverage.
I don't know if it'll be Jaden Reed. I don't know if it'll be Christian Watson. Jordan Love, I'd expect for his projections we'd hit more quite a bit this year when we're playing on Prize Picks. For
yeah,
the
and I love
season.
You got some futures opportunities, yards passing I saw for Jordan Love and a lot of other quarterbacks. It is time for the excitement of summer sports, and I say the best way to take summer sports excitement to the next level is with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. The community of over 5 million players, Prize Picks is the most exciting way to get in on summer sports action while watching your favorite teams and players. Baseball, America's pastime, is just starting up, while soccer, pro tennis, esports, and especially the dub, women's b-ball, are more popular than ever. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in as little as 60 seconds, and with Prize Picks, can turn $10 into $1,000 during a single game this summer. Sam Hauser was great for me during the playoffs. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you are locked and loaded to go. Got hockey. I got to make sure I say this properly. Hockey's playoffs winding down.
Game 6 tomorrow
I love
night.
those first inning runs.
Yeah,
I love that.
I love
That's
that one
another
too.
one I enjoy. So get out there. Use the best fantasy sports app available. Download the Prize Picks app now. Enter the code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code WI on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of $100. I
was like pitcher outs also. How many outs?
Yeah,
is
like
the pitcher
dabbling
gonna
too
make?
much with that. I'm a big innings guy, and then, I'm going to start dabbling a little bit more. I think with the big lawn tournament coming up, I might dabble a little bit in that too.
The big lawn tournament. It's time now for trivia. Producer Alex Gravatt, our cousin sub of the day, has created today's trivia questions. You gotta be shipping me.
I did not come up with that title.
I helped with that.
Is that really what the...
You gotta be. It's about ships. There are good ships. There are wood ships. There are ships that sail the sea.
I'm always interested why, pirate trivia. Pirates are in town. Buccaneers. Wisconsin sports or Wisconsin. We could have done Wisconsin geography. We didn't have it yesterday.
Brewers play the Padres tonight. Could have done San Diego trivia.
Yep.
Why,
a lot of options.
Why ships?
Oh, there's so many reasons, Jesse. I went kayaking yesterday. There's boats.
Is a kayak a ship?
It's
not even close.
It's a vessel. It
is a vessel. It's definitely not a ship.
Jaws came out 49 years ago today.
But in fairness, you had no idea that was what it was.
Also, doesn't have a lot to do with it has
more
little to do with ships, but more about sharks.
Yeah.
I went.
So
through
if you did shark trivia, because Shark Week is usually in the summer, that would be something.
The single largest aircraft carrier battle happened in 1944 today. So
okay.
Caller 11. Caller number 11.
You got to be shipping me.
Thanks for being careful with that one. 844-770-3776. Trivia about ships. Caller 11 for trivia. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Alex Strofe is Mr. Irrelevant.
If you're paying him, the expectation is he should be one of the 5 or 10 best quarterbacks in the league all year long.
Tune into ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30 for Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
So the national expectation is this guy is the real deal. And I believe that. But how real of a deal is he?
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30 on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The big gig is back. Summerfest is going on till July 6th, and ESPN Milwaukee will be there. Kyle, Brust, and Northman and the Homer Hour are live from Summerfest every Thursday and Friday at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone. Stop by and say hi to your favorite 94.5 ESPN hosts and play games for prizes. It's ESPN Milwaukee at Summerfest.
Homer here to tell you about Rawhide Youth Services. Co-founded in 1965 by Bart and Cherry Starr, Rawhide is a faith-based nonprofit that helps thousands of youth every year, many right here in Milwaukee, overcome trauma, suicidal thoughts, and live better lives. For youth who are hurting, who feel lost or abandoned, and families feeling powerless to help them, Rawhide is there to help. They also need vehicle donations to support their mission of helping hurting youth transform their future. Donate to Rawhide Youth Services. Visit rawhide.org/donate.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor. If it's a celebrate or tailgate, when you're gonna recreate upstate. If it's a holiday, birthday, any date, you can save at discount liquor.
It's the world's largest music festival, and you'll be there compliments of Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. There is no other party like Summerfest. Buy any one 15-pack of 16-ounce aluminum bottles of Miller Lite, Coors Light, or Coors Banquet, or any one 12-pack of Vizzy Hard Seltzer and receive one free Summerfest ticket. Visit us at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee and in Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
See us for your free Summerfest ticket and check out our specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss for Road America. The best place in Elkhart Lake is America's National Park of Speed. Make the most out of your summer at Road America. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road course that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Up next is the WeatherTech Chicago Region SCCA June Sprints at Road America on June 21st through the 23rd. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com.
Even when you get a great price, diamonds cost a lot of money.
But we want you to be able to buy the engagement ring you really want.
You won't have to settle for anything less than fantastic when you come to Kessler's.
We do everything in our power to make it possible for you to give her that magical engagement ring you really want her to have.
Friendly financing makes it possible.
We can give you 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit.
And with approved credit, we can give you 36 months to pay with just 9.99%.
And if getting your credit approved is a problem, we've even got second chance financing for people who deserve a second chance.
Don't settle for second best. Come to Kessler's.
Seriously, we do everything in our power to make it possible for you to give her that magical engagement ring you really want her to have.
That's the sort of thing you can expect from us when you hear us say, welcome to Kessler's.
Welcome to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com. And one more thing. Welcome to Kessler's.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
I believe it goes There are good ships, there are wood ships, there are ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships, and may we always be. It's a good cheers when you're raising a Coors Light. You like that one?
I'll take your word for that.
You're not going to remember that.
No, I will not. It's way too long.
Ship trivia is today's category. Robbie in Milwaukee is today's Wilde and Tausch trivia contestant. Robbie, I usually produce the show. I don't recognize your name. Are you a first-time contestant?
Pop those balloons. Get them up.
Yeah, there we go. First-time contestant.
The balloon popper.
Robbie in Milwaukee. Let's play trivia. How much do you know about ships, Robbie?
Oh, I feel confident.
I legit don't know if there could be a more random topic for a trivia contest. I don't know.
It's pretty random. But here we go, Robbie. Question number 1, because G was out kayaking yesterday. Which of these famous ships... Oh, he's going with the pirate music.
You know it.
Yar! I don't have any pirate jokes ready. We'll see if Tausch has one. Which of these famous ships was deemed unsinkable before its maiden voyage in 1912? Was it the Ham's Victory, the RMS Titanic, or Truman Cafloti?
The RMS Titanic.
It was the Titanic.
What does RMS stand for?
Not entirely sure, actually. I think it's Royal Majesty something.
I've never heard.
Service?
Like, it's always just Titanic.
Yeah, I'll dive into that. Tausch, you have question number 2.
I do, but before we do that, quick question for you guys. A pirate went to the doctor.
Oh, he's got one!
And said, I have moles on my back. The doctor said, it's okay. They're benign. The pirate replied, count them up again. I think there be 10. Anything? No laughs? Nothing?
There be 9.
Courtesy laugh.
No,
Yeah,
there be 10.
Listen, I'll take
You
the
didn't do it
courtesy.
in a pirate joke or in a
I
pirate
don't-
voice.
I have an Irish pirate accent.
RMS Royal Mail Ship.
Mail ship. So they delivered mail. Fair enough. Gordon Lightfoot wrote a folk rock song about which of these ships that sank in Lake Superior. Probably the most underrated
Edmund
lake.
Fitzgerald.
There you
There
go.
it is. Nicely done, Robbie. 2 for 2.
Great tune.
Lake Superior, by far the most underrated of the Great Lakes. It is so crystal clear and just absolutely gorgeous. I know Lake Michigan gets all the love because it's on the, Chicago, all that stuff. Lake Superior Lake by far.
I think Gordon Lightfoot's underrated. Got some jams.
Okay.
Question 3, Robbie, for a chance at a clean sweep in your Wilde and Tausch trivia debut. Which of these American ships is the longest serving warship of all time, earning the nickname Old Ironside? Is it the
USS Constitution.
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
old
Jeez.
boy knows his ship.
That's 5 entries or 6 entries, right?
No.
He should. No, you should. I don't know why we don't, but I think it's because Jesse would have to work and put some time in, change the rules. That was to
That
get
was
question
impressive.
2 and 3 without any choices.
It's impressive.
It's big time.
Robbie, you got all the questions right. You get 4 entries
I wish you would
into
have
the
laughed.
drawing.
I wish you would have laughed at my benign joke.
Well, you didn't deliver it well enough.
I don't think I did. I think you're right. It's just like AG not delivering the Sports Center. I appreciate
Are we
the
gonna
good feedback.
fight? Just keep bashing him on it.
No bashing.
Robbie, congratulations. You have as many entries as you possibly can have into the drawing, which takes
6.
place tomorrow. It is
Good
not
work.
ESPNWisconsinContest.com for the official rules.
He was caller 11. Is that 11?
We can ship them to you, Robbie, if needed.
Good one.
All right, love you guys.
And he finishes with a love you guys.
I'm a big Robbie fan. He's authentic. He's not laughing at bad jokes.
Robbie
he's
gets
getting questions, and he's doing it without. Hey, you should head over to Steinhoffel's. Experience the luxury of a Stearns & Foster mattress at Steinhoffel's, featuring layers of premium material beneath a timeless, hand-stitched cover. Stearns & Foster mattresses provide the entire family with a luxurious sleep experience. Plus, you'll get up to $300 in Steinhoffel's cash. Feel this collection's handcrafted comfort and support at Steinhoffel's today, or you can shop online at steinhoffels.com.
The 11 o'clock hour begins with some more Packers commentary from Terrell Buckley appearing on the Homer Hour with our friend Homer. You're going to want to hear what he said about Jeff Hafley, Jaire Alexander, and the Packers' defense. Don't go anywhere. We'll get to that in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Tired of looking at dusty, dirty, and cracked garage floors? Hi, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I'm here to tell you how you can get a fresh new look with Floor Shield by Showtime Floors. Using a state-of-the-art coating 4 times stronger than traditional epoxy, it's tough enough to be used in military bases and airports. Floor Shield is certified as an anti-slip floor. It's also eco-friendly, all while being UV stable, and my favorite part, easy to clean. Contact Showtime Floors today and mention ESPN for 10% off. ShowtimeFloors.com.
Hugs from patients, like Patrick from here in Milwaukee. It's something QC Kinetics medical professionals experience every day.
I hugged them. You should hug somebody who does that for you. They gave me my life back, and I really didn't know where I was going to go because I was definitely afraid of having a knee replacement done.
No surgery, no downtime with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. They give patients relief from joint pain using their own healing properties to repair and restore damaged tissue. And the results? Well, that's why we see a lot of hugs at QC Kinetics.
Everything is back that I thought I was never going to be able to do again. I'm still smiling, and sometimes it gets emotional. I get a tear in my eye because of how I was before I went in there.
Those smiles and hugs never get old at QC Kinetics. It means patients are finally getting relief. And now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation and see if you're a good candidate for these amazing treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Hour of Wilde and Tausch. Jesse and Tausch, Jason on assignment for the week. He'll be back next week. We're talking Green Bay Packers because Homer was talking Green Bay Packers with Terrell Buckley on Tuesday's edition of the Homer Hour, weekdays 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. I mean this kindly. Alex G is our producer, cousin sub of the day.
This sounds like there's going to be something coming that's not great.
No.
When you say I mean
you're
this
the one who
kindly.
has been getting after G. I just have a question.
I didn't say anything about his 11 o'clock sports room. Is really good.
It was actually my worst one by a pretty wide margin. I tried a new setup. I'm dyslexic. It was too far away.
You tried a new setup.
Yeah, usually I hold my laptop with the words just right here so that it's there. I can read it. And today, as you can see, I set it on the speaker.
I did see that, yeah.
Blundered
Not great.
Blundered it.
Tausch, how many times in a game during your how many times in a game in your career did you just try something new in the middle of the game instead
you try
of
to do that like
first.
Off air and like a practice setting, but I appreciate you trying to make yourself better. I do.
G, do you know who Terrell Buckley is?
No.
I don't. I'm surprised you do.
That's not surprising. Yeah, I mean, so Terrell Buckley played over a decade in the National Football League.
He was one of the probably the most highly, I guess, not sought after, but just publicized draft picks for Green Bay. He was I think 7th overall or something. He was a top 10 pick, I believe, with the Chiefs.
5th overall pick by the Green Bay Packers in the 1992 draft.
And he had a lot of swag. Like, he was a punt return. He was a big-time player, I believe, at Florida State, if my memory serves me. And we picked him ahead of Troy Vincent, who was one of the greats, obviously, at Wisconsin, had a great pro career. And Packer fans were always comparing how that went. And then T-Buck held out So there was a lot of animosity at that point in time. And then when he got here, he's a little undersized, didn't quite live up to at least the high expectations. I think we all thought he was going to be Deion. That was what we were all hoping for. He was not Deion, but he still had a really good NFL career, and unfortunately, a lot of those good years weren't here in Green Bay.
He played 3 seasons with the Green Bay Packers, 92, 93, 94. Then he went to Miami.
Should have stuck around
for a handful of years. Had a
Pretty
lot
good
of,
run
lot
there
of
in
success
94, 95,
in Miami.
96, 97.
Actually ended up back with the Dolphins later in his career as well, as he bounced around some teams at the end of his career. But overall, a solid NFL player.
Very good. Very disappointing when it comes to his Packer career, just because he, again, those high expectations, it just did not pan out the way we all had hoped.
But Homer has had him on his show before, and he always offers some very interesting insight, especially because he does have a relationship with Jaire Alexander from his time at Louisville. So let's talk about first what Terrell Buckley had to say about Jeff Hafley, who he's also familiar with. Again, the new Packers defensive coordinator. Here's the insight of what, again, Terrell Buckley said on the Homer Hour earlier this week about what fans will notice with Jeff Hafley's scheme this season.
One of the bright minds of adjustments, right? Like you can say, I want to play cover 3.
Yeah.
He understands, again, if they're an I-back, are they strong? The receivers place this way. The splits between receiver 1 and the slot is a little bit wider than normal. He understands, number 1, going to run slant. Little things like that. He's actually going to coach schematically and going to get the players to understand this is when you go in and this is when you make that play. This is how you finish. And that's what you're going to get.
What will people be able to notice anything? Will anything stand out, or what will stand out the most with the defense in Hafley? Or is that a question that can't
That's
be
going to be one of them. That's going to be one of them. Communication. You're going to have less blown coverages and not as many mismatches. So you're going to see that, I would say, within the first 5 or 6 games. Once you compile the data, you're going to see the difference.
Everybody will look like they know where they're supposed to be, then doing what they're supposed to be doing. There'll be no confusion.
And so
nobody looking at each other.
If somebody gets beat, which they will, that person is going to be on that receiver, and they're going to make a good play. And that happens in the NFL all the time.
Terrell Buckley on the Homer Hour earlier this week.
Yeah, it makes me think, just in hearing his comments, that, again, I don't know how much he talks to Ja. I know they have a good relationship, as you mentioned. But when you hear someone say, actually going to coach schematically, that's very pointed. Actually going to coach schematically. Actually not having these matchup. I mean, we all remember Preston Smith guarding Justin Jefferson. And what the hell? What are we doing? Oh, that happens. It shouldn't. Okay? So that's the part, and the attention to detail. Coaching is about putting your players in a position to be successful and having them so dialed into what you're doing and asking that they don't have to think, they just react. You didn't sense that. You didn't sense buy-in from the group with what we were doing last year and the year before. So when you look at all of that, that's why I thought the change was necessary. Now, I don't think it's a coincidence that he's been here the vast majority of the game. He missed the mandatory minicamp, but it was excused. So you can sense that, and I'm sure that's where T-Buck is getting this from, the excitement and where this defense can go when you're putting it on the players. Players have no problem being held accountable. What they don't like is, oh, well, old boy just got burned. Well, yeah, I had safety. The safety is supposed to be there to help. And now I'm chasing after him because the safety wasn't, and it makes it look like I got burnt potatoes. Well, as he put it, you're going to get burnt potatoes sometimes. It happens. I just want it to be because I messed up, not because something else happened. It looks like I messed up. And that accountability, and I think more man coverage, more aggressive play, that's what Matt LaFleur had been clamoring for. You're going to get more of that. That will also lead to maybe some more big plays. Whether or not you can pull that off, that's another story. But what I think most Packer fans were sick of, 3rd and 9. Why are you giving up 10 yards of cushion? What are we doing? Let's let our players play. They're going to make mistakes, but let's read. Well, I as an offensive lineman, I could always tell if a defensive lineman, a 3 technique, which lines up over the guard, is wider, they're probably running a stunt. If this guy is off the ball a half a yard, he's doing that for a reason. You pick up on all those little cues, and when I heard that actually going to coach schematically, that tells me that somebody that T-Buck is talking to, again, I'm not going to put names to anything, you figure it out, is basically saying, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. And that is not a place you want to be.
Fascinating stuff to hear. And I feel like from what we heard from Terrell Buckley now, what we've heard from some players, what we've heard from Matt LaFleur, am I misremembering when Joe Barry got the job as the Packers defensive coordinator? I felt like he was being scrutinized day one.
It's because he wasn't successful before and he was the 3rd choice. That's why.
And Jeff Hafley, it's not like Boston College was lighting the college football world on fire.
He's the head football coach.
He was the head coach.
He brings a lot of gravitas, and he has a lot of former players saying a lot of really positive things about his approach. So
I say that because I think the leash is going to be longer for Jeff Hafley
100%
from us, the fans, than it was for some of the Packers defensive coordinators of past years.
There's no doubt about that. But with that said, he's going to get maybe half a season. Well, we're working through some things. And then I can assure you, if we get into Thanksgiving and we play the Lions that week after and the Lions torch us, it'll be the same fire half-leaf hashtags as we've seen for fire capers and fire everybody else. That's just how this thing works.
So you think Thanksgiving is kind of the
That's at the
honeymoon
latest.
period.
I think it could be. If things aren't great and you go down and get smoked by Jalen Hurts and he rushes for 115 yards because you're playing a bunch of man coverage and your backs are to him and he escapes the pocket like he did the first time around when we played in Philly and he had 100 yards rushing, I prize picked the less and lost. You're going to see a lot of people that are saying, well, let's bring Joe Barry back. I don't think you'll ever hear that.
You're not going to hear that.
You won't hear that, but people will say, what's changed?
No, they're not going to say that.
If Jalen Hurts rushes for $150 and the Eagles throw up 35 points in Brazil, you think everybody's just going to say, oh, well, it's a transition period. We got to give Jeff Hafley credit. No, they won't, and you know that.
I think everyone's going to go, well, this Hafley defense, I hope that's not what it's going to look like. But it's not going to be like
you
week
haven't
one.
Done,
like
again, rational fans, yes. People that are going to be calling into the post-game show and everything else. The beauty of this league is every week stands on its own. That can change the next week against Indy, but not if you get torched and smoked early against the Philadelphia Eagles in Brazil. I can assure you there will be a lot of question marks. It won't be as bad. I agree with you on that as what it was with Joe Barry. But if you just think that he's got this red carpet, like, oh, shucksies, we're struggling. Well, you'll work through it. That's not how it works, man. Not when you have 8, 9 first-round picks and you pay all this money for X. This is no longer the honeymoon phase. We're going to win a championship. Get your blank together. That's how we're going to react.
More from Terrell Buckley on the Homer Hour, talking specifically about Jaire Alexander. Some interesting comments there coming up for Tausch to react to as well here in a moment. But first, we golfed yesterday. You did your thing. I did my thing. Eventually, I think we're going to have to get together and bring Jason out to try and break 200 at Lac La Belle.
Experience the rebirth of an American treasure in Oconomowoc. You know, it's one of my favorite courses, the club at Lac La Belle. We just were down there a couple weeks ago and had a fantastic time. We played 18, then we did a little scramby, and we putted, and we had dinner, a couple of drinks out on that beautiful patio. There was a wedding going on right next to us. They have all this event space that you can get out to. It has it all. And the best part for me, I love the course. What I love even more, you get done, you have such a great day, and then it's not a 2.5-hour drive back. 45 minutes to an hour, either side, Milwaukee or Madison. That's the beauty of it, the club at Lac La Belle. It is the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin with rich history that you will feel once you get there. Go to clubatlaclabelle.com today to book your tee time.
He's a dog again. Terrell Buckley on Jaire Alexander. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Will.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Tomorrow's business leaders are in our classrooms today. With our exciting programs in business, Junior Achievement of Wisconsin ignites the entrepreneurial spirit in young minds through the development of business plans, the study of market needs, and the experience of real-world applications. Help us foster the next generation of innovators. Learn how you can support or get involved in Junior Achievement's entrepreneurship programs at wisconsin.ja.org. Junior Achievement, inspiring, preparing, succeeding.
Many people with unique homes reach out to Pella because our team of experts can customize windows and doors that match architecture from any era.
I love that I have a home that is 100 years old. It's a historic district, and we didn't want to ruin the look by having modern windows in an older home. When I found out that Pella had an architecturally accurate product line, they simply guided us and helped us to make a great decision for our home.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 36 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Certain restrictions apply at 6/30/2024.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Joe Fortenbaugh.
Absolutely do not hire Monty Williams for that job. He mailed it in with the Detroit Pistons. You're right. They made him an offer he couldn't refuse. He didn't have to go coach there. He probably didn't want to go coach there, but he chose to do it. The money was too good. You know what? Go get paid. I am not going to ever hate on anyone for going out there and getting their money. Nothing against that. But when you mail it in the way you mailed it in, you're not going to get my endorsement to go out there and get a big job with the LA Lakers. I wouldn't touch this guy with a 10-foot pole. I would come nowhere near him. That was an all-time sandbag move on the Pistons. I'm going to take your money, and I'm going to do a piss-poor job of coaching your team. And you know how I know that? How long was he going to start Killian Hayes before he got Jaden Ivey in there? That was malpractice. Killian Hayes started, 33 games? Everyone on earth knew Ivey should have been starting instead of Killian Hayes.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. The hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site galleries, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Book special hotel packages with room rates starting as low as $129 a night. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
More from Terrell Buckley joining our friend Homer on the Homer Hour earlier this week. Some fascinating commentary that you found here, Tausch, and this includes stuff about Jaire Alexander.
Yeah, I think I've been very fair with my Jaire Alexander. I loved Jaire's first couple seasons in Green Bay.
You were all about him.
His attitude. He played so tenacious. I remember that Minnesota game up in Minneapolis. I don't know if it was the COVID year or not, but he just instinctively blitzed off the edge and got a safety on Kirk Cousins. And you just saw him, and I thought, man, not that he was Leroy Butler, because I think Leroy had his own special skill set, but I enjoyed the fact that I think he just wants to make plays. Physical, talking smack, doing all the stuff. And then that fateful day against Najee Harris, the Pittsburgh Steelers, he cracks his... And again, he's playing like a dog, flying around and being physical. That's what makes him... It's what made him what I thought was the depoy type guy. And since that day, I thought he came back, and I give him credit. It was tough. He fought his way to get back in for that playoff game, and it just wasn't, Okay, the next season, I saw way too much kind of waving and not really getting your nose in there and playing in that same physical manner. I saw sometimes with Justin Jefferson, he had the game where he was gritty in him and, kind of getting that old swagger back. But I didn't sense that was the case. And part of it maybe he didn't like the defense. There could be numerous things, but the injury affected him. It affected how he played because he didn't want to. I get this. You get injured, you see how it's painful emotionally and mentally. So I understand you don't want to put yourself back in that position. But when you're a football player, you need to be a football player, and there is no, I'm going to baby this or I'm going to try to protect myself in this. That's not how it works. And I think hopefully Jaire's been through a couple seasons now. Last year it was up and down, captaincy, all this stuff. I just hope, and a part of it is I think his contract, I think the guaranteed money portion of this is wrapping up. I think he understands this, and I think being suspended last year was a complete eye-opener for him. And I said that at the time. It's up to you. You can do this, and you can complain, and then I did the Instagram post. But this new coach, it's a new beginning. I think the Packers, they paid him top dollar, expect top dollar play, and I hope he's there all off season. I hope this is the catalyst for him to become that dog, that depoy candidate again this coming season. That's what I'm hoping for.
Terrell Buckley thinks he could do that. Let's hear what he said with Homer the other day on the Homer Hour on ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Beaver Dam.
One of my GAs, Trey Bell, who's another fine young coach, going to be in the NFL soon. He was telling me a little bit about what was happening up there.
What Hafley's
and
doing.
The way Jaire and how Jaire is looking. So
what can you tell us?
He's back. He's a dog. That's what he said. That's the exact words.
Jaire's a dog. He's back.
He's a dog.
Okay,
yes.
Explain why he wasn't a dog then.
Hurt shoulder.
All right.
Feeling his way. You know how sometimes some guys, when you get hurt and you know you that top player and you can't put in that time, that work, that preparation because you in the rehab, you're training, trying to get back healthy, you don't go out and play the way that you, in your mind, you want to play that way, but physically you can't.
All right, so he's healthy now.
Yes.
It will
like
Hafley
last night.
All right, he's a dog. We will tell the world that T-Buck says Jaire's back. He's a dog again.
Yes.
When was the last time he was a dog with the Packers? I don't know. You'd have
before the show, before the play,
yep.
the swing pass when he ran up and smacked the running back and hurt his shoulder.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't know if I could have been more spot on. And the thing that T-Buck said about you can do it with your mind but not physically, I couldn't disagree more. I think this was more about his mind, his mindset. Physically, that season he couldn't. But in that off-season, you're feeling fresh. It comes back to this is what got me in this position. I'm willing to throw my body around. I have to be willing to go take on Najee Harris again. And I'm going to go and throw my shoulder in, and I'm going to try and take him out. That's what made Jaire. He can be a good cover corner, but that's not all what he is about. He's a playmaker, and now you're in a system where you're going to get to do more of what you like, and you're going to be expected to make tackles and to be physical. And if you do that, you're going to be that dog again. But you haven't been a dog in a couple years. It's been, I think, 2 seasons at least since that happened. You missed a ton of time. You did the captaincy bit. All the stuff, it's been a ton of negative stuff. I have not been able to defend how Jaire's played. Just watch the film. And was he a willing participant in tackling on a consistent basis? The answer was no. And I get it. It is. I think a lot of it was the mental side of it. So now, total time for a reset. And what T-Buck is saying, man, I hope this is what comes to fruition, because if it is, I think everybody's going to give Jeff Hafley a lot of credit. And if it works, he deserves it. But it's going to work because you have a shutdown corner that you can limit what an offense can do, and you have a roaming safety like X that is going to be able to make a ton of plays. That's why your defense is going to be good. Because if you're getting the same play that you got from Jaire the last couple seasons, this ain't going to work. That's why I think he is one of the most critical members of this team to take that next step. He's healthy. He's hungry. He has a lot to prove. And I'm all for watching it.
This is a fun half hour talking Packers defense. Jeff Hafley, Jaire Alexander. You got me fired up for what this thing's going to look like this season.
I just know how important Jaire is to this defense and how important having a corner that is a playmaker. I mean, I'm not trying to compare him to Charles Woodson. There's some big differences. But the impact Charles had on our football teams and his time throughout both in Oakland and in Green Bay, it's really the difference maker. Like our 2009 defense, Charles was the depoy. He made a ton of plays. I don't know if Jaire, the ball skills and everything else, we saw him make a great play in the Cowboys game. He has that in him. We saw him make 2 big plays against the GOAT in an NFC Championship game. He's got that in him. But he hasn't had it in him consistently enough since that injury. He needs to be one of those guys. And I would argue, and I know we'll hit on this tomorrow, who those guys need to be. And I think it's 2 or 3 guys that I have kind of pinpointed as being, and Ja is definitely at the top of that list for me.
If you were to pinpoint 2 or 3 of your favorite things about going a quick trip, what would you put at the top of that list?
I'm a big fan of this reward system. I love this. You get to rack stuff up. I love their coffee. Kids love the frill, but I'm a chicken guy. You guys know I love the chicken, but you know what? In the summer, there's nothing quite like a stop at Quick Trip. While I'm on the road, getting an ice-cold, refreshing drink, like an ice-cold Coke. And this summer just got a whole lot cooler with Quick Trip and Coca-Cola. You can play the Coca-Cola Summer Cash Grab Pull Tab game daily this summer in your Quick Rewards app. You can enter the weekly winner drawing where Quick Trip is giving away a total of $500,000 this summer. 10 weekly winners get $25,000 each. And one final week, the winner gets $250,000. $500,000 given away just for playing the Coca-Cola Summer Cash Grab Pull Tab game on the Quick Rewards app. You can even earn extra chances to win by using your Quick Rewards every time you purchase Coke, Monster Energy, Powerade, Body Armor, Smart Water, or Core Power Elite products. Download the Quick Rewards app today. I'm telling you, it's a ton of fun. You see your visits. Oh, then I get this. What do you pick for your little deal? Your 15 visits. Do you get gas discounts? Do you get free stuff? It's up to you. See quicktrip.com/sweepstakes and for a chance to win a ton of cash this summer. Again, that's quicktrip.com/sweepstakes for full details.
I just played. I got 50 entries into the drawing. How about that?
Show the video. There you go. Give us your code and your password and everything
50.
else.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do that. I don't think you can see that, but every time you remind us to play, I'm going to pull this open and play the game real quick. It's that quick. I love it. Alex Gravatt is our producer today, cousin sub of the day. In for me, I guess, because I slid over here.
Chips, sharks, and frisbee. That's what I think is going to be in Woe Gravatt. Am I close?
Well, we're not going to call it.
Not super far off, actually.
Oh boy.
We're not going to call it Woe Gravatt.
What are you going to call it? Woe Gravy? Whoa Gravy!
That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote. With fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Summer with Saz's, wonton-wrapped mozzarella sticks, refreshing craft cocktails, crispy sour cream and chive fries, barbecue pulled pork sandwiches, you name it, they've got it. Saz's Date House has been a Milwaukee staple for almost 50 years. So grab your friends and come experience the finest for yourself. Join them on their outdoor patio or pull up a seat at Saz's famous Round Bar. Complimentary shuttles are ready to take you to games and concerts at AmFam Field. Located at 55th and State. Learn more at saz's.com.
The big gig is back. Summerfest is going on till July 6th, and ESPN Milwaukee will be there. Kyle, Bruston, Nortman, and the Homer Hour are live from Summerfest every Thursday and Friday at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone. Stop by and say hi to your favorite 94.5 ESPN hosts and play games for prizes. It's ESPN Milwaukee at Summerfest.
Golfers, listen up. It's Gabe Neitzel from On the Tee, and we are heading to Scotland with our friends at Wisconsin Golf Trips. That's right, Scotland. You can join myself and Stephen Watson as we head overseas to play some of the best courses in the world. This package includes green fees, lodging, transportation, and more. But there are only a limited amount of spots available, so sign up now. For information on the trip and a link for paying, you can text GOLF right now to the ESPN Milwaukee Talk and Text line at 800-990-3776. That's GOLF to 800-990-3776.
Sunday. It's racing season at the legendary Great Lakes Dragaway, and our schedule of events is ready. We've still got our yearly holiday weekend races like Labor Day weekend, plus Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, and Night of Fire. You can also book corporate and private events. Take advantage of our season-long passes and even schedule a time to take your car down the legendary quarter mile. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for pricing and info. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls here from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Bruston Nortman, and I gotta tell you about my favorite way to watch games, and that is with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. A pick'em fantasy game where you win real money. It's easy to find in your app store and even easier to use. Here's how it works. Pick between 2 to 5 players from at least 2 different teams, then select higher or lower on those player stats, and if your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Yeah, it is that easy, especially with the hoop season in high gear. You know I'm watching every game with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. So right now, go to their easy-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com to sign up using promo code KBN, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. That's Underdog Fantasy and promo code KBN to claim your new customer special of a mystery player pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
We did post a poll question earlier today that I'd kind of forgotten about.
Okay.
Do you want Anders Carlson to be the Packers kicker for the 2024
and I think Packer
season?
fans should want that, but again, it comes down to how is he going to do? And he's not ordained or crowned, but yeah, I think we all hope, hey, take that big jump and be the guy. And if you are, I think we'll all be pleased as punch.
When we first checked in, it was 54% no. Now with 250 votes, it's 58% yes.
Yeah, I think Packer fans should be rooting for that. I do.
That's fair. And I thought it would be a majority yes. That's why I thought I'd be in the minority by saying, no, I don't want him to be the kicker. And for a while, I was
We don't want
in the
last
majority.
year's version of him to be the kicker.
That's for sure. Yes. No doubt about that.
I am going to be fascinated. I still think the most underreported and under-talked about story is going to be kickoffs. And the fact that I know diehard fans know it. How are the Packers going to approach it? Is it going to be take it at the 30, just kick it out of bounds or kick it out of the end zone? Or are you going to put your kicker in position to have to make tackles? I think that is going to be such a fascinating piece to the 2024 season.
What's also going to be fascinating is Alex Gravatt, our producer today, leading us. You really want to call
Very
it this?
excited. No, I don't. I want Alex to feel good about what he's doing. That's what I want.
Whoa, gravy. That's what we're doing.
Does anybody call you gravy?
A ton of people.
They do.
Yes, my old club Frisbee team calls me gravy. Sam Dunn in the ESPN Milwaukee office calls me gravy.
Whoa, gravy.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wildy and Tausch.
My girlfriend's roommate also calls me Gravy Boy. But we also call her boyfriend Sammy Boy. So, yeah, a lot of gravy.
Okay, so Sammy Boys and Gravy's girlfriends live together. That's
Yeah.
Okay, and now are you boys with Sammy?
Yeah, we're
that's
buds.
good.
Trying to get him to come sub on one of my Frisbee teams. He's trying to get me to come sub on one of his basketball teams. It's a good time.
Okay.
All right, but speaking of Frisbee, last night I was at Radicals practice, and after finding a parking spot, it was a pain to find a parking spot last night,
That's
too.
because the parking garage is getting washed.
Well, we don't, we don't park
parking
here.
anywhere.
We share a parking lot with the Madison Mallards for our practice field, and there's a game last night. I think it was rain delayed or something, so everyone was showing up at once. It was a pain to find a spot. But once we got into practice, one of the rookies from Milwaukee, who's not, he's new to the team, he's fresh, we don't know him very well, starts just doling out nicknames. Like my friend Dan, Dan G, he just starts yelling DG every time he gets the disc. And it's like, at what point can you start giving out nicknames?
Yeah, not that early.
It's a good question.
It is a good question. I like the fact he's confident enough to do it. I can assure you, rookies in the NFL aren't dishing out nicknames. Unless it's to another rookie and there's a story behind it and you tell the veterans and then that nickname will stick. That's always the fun part. But you don't just come in as a first-year disc thrower and say to Gravy, who's been around for a few years, we're going to call you Gravy. Because then you say, well, then I'm going to call you blankety blank and that'll stick. You don't do it. I don't know the culture of Frisbee golf, though, either. Or radical Frisbee. I pulled back.
Oh, my God.
I don't understand ultimate Frisbee. I don't understand ultimate Frisbee. I know you have to run a lot. Yeah. You have to be athletic. You're a great athlete. You're a professional athlete. I pull back on the Frisbee golf. It's nothing like regular golf either.
I do feel like we should share this for members of the audience who don't know or aren't familiar with Gravy's work. So he is on the Madison Radicals, which is a legitimate, competitive, professional
Is there
ultimate
tackling,
Frisbee
like
team.
if you're two people going up for the Frisbee, you can't check them?
Well, so there is contact in the pro league, but there's no actual tackling. You have to be making a play on the disc.
Yeah, but you can knock somebody over to make a play on the disc.
Yeah, it happens. Bodies flying.
Should it happen more often than it does?
I would say it happens an appropriate amount, as long as
you
long
the
as it's not
commissioner of
flagrant.
this?
No, my coach is though. My coach just got promoted to commissioner of the whole.
So is he still the coach?
Yeah. He's got a lot on his plate.
Sounds super fishy to me.
That's why I'm helping out with their social media.
No, I know, but it sounds
Roger
fishy. You
Goodell
can't
be coaching the Commanders.
You can't have a coach running the league.
You want to pay for two separate people?
No, I don't, but I just think it's feels like a conflict of interest.
Hey, Adam Silver, you're going to be the new coach of the Pistons.
The Radicals are going to be playing at home the whole series because I got a commission, so you got to come to me. Well, you don't have the home field advantage. Tough luck.
We do have the best home field. We've got about 2,000 fans who will come out to
That's
any given
awesome.
game. It's awesome. It's great.
I still think there should be more physicality. I have not watched 1 second, and I'm already thinking more physicality. That is physicality sells. It does.
It does.
I feel like Barry Alvarez could have been the Big Ten commissioner and the head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers football team, and everyone would have been cool with that.
Yeah, in Wisconsin, I got a hunch they wouldn't have been in Ohio.
All right, well, I wasn't playing Frisbee yesterday morning. We had the day off. I went to go kayaking, right? It's a water-based activity, and I let my girlfriend, Elfie, talk me into wearing... Elfie?
Like A-L...
E-L.
Elf, like
yes.
Elf.
Her real name, Lily, but she joined a Frisbee team in college, and there was 4 Lilies on the team, so they needed to give a nickname, and hers stuck. It is...
Did this dude from Milwaukee give her the nickname?
No. Bad news, she did go to Ohio State.
It's okay.
And she's a big fan. But so she talked me into wearing this mesh shirt that she had picked out for me. It's like a knit polo-looking shirt. And if you look close at all, it really, you can see straight through. I don't love it, but her roommate, and her roommate's family who were in town all gave me compliments on this shirt. Now, suddenly, I might start wearing it, but how many compliments do I need?
How would that work if you gave Elfie that shirt to wear?
A mesh shirt?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. She's comfortable.
Okay. Well, you know what? Here's the deal. You're in good shape. You're a radical. So, I've always said if I was yoked, I'd do this show without a shirt. Like if I was yoked up and super muscular with no fat, let it rip. Heck yeah. If you're a bodybuilder, why do you think they're always walking around with no shirt on? So mesh away.
'Cause I can't find one that fits.
Yeah, mesh it up.
Jesse?
I guess I've been in the boat of I'm not.
I hate to tell you, but we're both non-mesh guys. Just so you know, I know you're thinking about.
I'm not saying I'm a mesh guy. I'm relating to the fact that I have had apparel, clothing picked out for me by people more fashionable than I.
Yeah.
Even though I may not be
standard.
comfortable feeling it. Thank you. Like, I may not be comfortable wearing what they say looks good on me, but I will wear it because someone says, you look good in that. I'm wearing glasses today, in part because, Becca picked out these glasses for me and said, these glasses make you look good. You should wear these glasses more often.
I think it helps your face shape.
No, I'm just confused. Like so you're telling me if Becca handed you the same mesh shirt that Gravy got, and she said, you look good, my guy, you'd rock it. You'd rock the mesh shirt.
If the person whose opinion I think matters most says, you look good in this, you should wear this, then yeah, I probably would.
I can't wait. Next time I see Becca, I'm going to get her a mesh shirt to give to you and say, make sure he feels.
No, that's not how this works.
I'm a big guy. It would fit you, too. Like, if you want, you could wear mine.
I don't want to wear the mesh shirt. I'm pretty sure Becca, who is very much more fashionable than I, would not say, you should wear this mesh shirt. She'll say, here's a nice quarter zip that looks good on you. Here's a nice pullover, like fleece that looks good on you.
Are you saying Elfie has bad fashion taste?
No, I'm saying that our significant others understand what they're working with.
So I'm assuming Elfie feels like you're yoked and in good shape that you could pull off a mesh shirt.
Yeah, I would.
So
I think
all I'm saying, again, it's not going to be mesh, but you give your girlfriend something. Is she going to reciprocate and wear the same type of thing that you just did?
Well, her favorite color is green. I'd just get her something green and she'd love it.
Okay.
Ian and East Troy on the text line. It's a professional league, the Madison Radicals, but you can just grab a buddy to come and sub on the team?
I did find that.
We're playing
I found
beer
that
league.
interesting.
I'm talking beer league outside.
He's in multiple
I was curious.
leagues.
Like, isn't there
leagues.
rosters? I suppose if your coach is the commissioner, you can do whatever the hell you want. Oh, yeah, Frankie from down there, the parking guy. Hey, that dude power washing. He looks like he could play. Let's sign him up. Then we got a parking spot.
We did just grab some dude, brought him to a practice. He was like 6'5". He didn't stay on the team, but I mean, we just brought an athlete and he was a swimmer.
That's the beauty of the commish being the coach.
All right.
One more quick one?
Can we go down to Illinois and ESPN bet who's winning this? What's the name of the league?
The UFA, Ultimate Frisbee Association.
Can you do that?
We had betting at one point, but we stopped because everyone was betting against Detroit, and Detroit's lost 80 games in a row. It was just they were hemorrhaging money because Detroit is so bad.
But why wouldn't they,
Sounds like Detroit's got to figure it out.
Isn't there a spread that they can put, 35 goals? Is it goals, or how do you... Scores. How do you score?
By catching the disc in the end zone.
Okay, and you have to get your feet down? Is there out of bounds in the back?
There's an out of bounds. Yeah, it's like scoring in football, right? You just once you catch a disc, you have to stop moving.
And does Anders Carlson kick it through the goalpost, or how do you get extra points?
No extra points.
Okay.
No extra points. All right, we got one last one.
Whoa, Nelly!
Another bathroom malfunction here. I went to the bathroom at 10:30 today, and I realized my zipper was down. Now, I have not used the bathroom since I put my shorts on this morning at 6:30 a.m., and I've been walking around with my fly down all day, and I wish one of you two had told me.
Well, first off,
how do you tell someone?
You're on the other side of a soundproof wall. We haven't seen you, and no, you just tell them, hey, zip your fly up. Yeah, it's no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you don't do it in front of a bunch of people, but when you have an opportunity, you have someone on the side, hey, gee, by the way, your fly's open. Take care of that.
Whoa,
thanks. That's the way to do it. You just do it discreetly on the side. I don't like when I'm called out in front of a group of people.
I can see that.
Not a fan of that. If you came up to me, hey, Jesse, what's going on with your zipper there?
I don't really love your impression of me either. This is Jesse whenever, and then you're, when he changes his voice like that for just the weirdest I still haven't figured out why he does that.
What do we think of the maiden voyage of Woe
I thought
Gravy?
AG was really good. For Sports Center, Tier 4.
Whoa!
Whoa, Gravy? Well, you're the one that said your 11 o'clock was brutal.
It was not my best work.
Okay, so
are you going to make fun of the dyslexic kid?
No, I'm not. Stop! Don't do that. Don't do that. I was trying to compliment you. Your Whoa Gravy was top notch. Again, it's like trivia. I learned something and I was entertained. That's what we're looking for with Whoa Gravy. We haven't had that with Whoa Nelly in 2 or 3 years.
Tauschkin, excuse me. Hey, Jesse, I'm not a good time in a while.
Do I sound anything like that?
Not even a little bit.
Only when you're talking about the parking garage. We'll see if we get a check-in from the garage and check our zippers next. It's Wildy and Tausch.
This is Madison's new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
National semifinalist for the 6th time.
ESPN.
This is Wildy and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Not just the $6 million man.
I play it out this year and walk in and say, hey, I want that number to start with a 6 next year. Why should I take a nickel less than the highest paid player in the history of the sport? Maybe it's 62, maybe it's 63 million a year.
Is Jordan Love about to become the $60 million man?
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Green and Gold Talk, right here on 94.5 ESPN. Streaming at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and found wherever you get podcasts.
Many people with unique homes reach out to Pella because our team of experts can customize windows and doors that match architecture from any era.
I love that I have a home that is 100 years old. It's a historic district, and we didn't want to ruin the look by having modern windows in an older home. When I found out that Pella had an architecturally accurate product line, they simply guided us and helped us to make a great decision for our home.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 36 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Certain restrictions apply at 6/30/2024.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Dr. Michael Nolte. Expertscape recently named him part of the top 1% of spine expertise in the world. Dr. Nolte has published over 50 peer-reviewed articles in leading scientific journals and authored more than 100 national presentations. They added this MVP specialist for orthopedic, neurosurgical, and spine care because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Finally, warmer weather, green grass, birds chirping. Don't spend your weekend surrounded by all that junk. Get your free, no obligation, same-day estimate from Two Men and a Junk Truck. You'll restore your sanity and reclaim your space when Two Men and a Junk Truck pulls in your driveway. Visit twomenandajuncktruck.com for your free, no obligation estimate today.
Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. Hey everybody, it's time for the excitement of summer sports. And I say the best way to take summer sports excitement to the next level is with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. game on. With a community of over 5 million players, Prize Picks is the most exciting way to get in on summer sports action while watching your favorite teams and players. Baseball, America's pastime, is just starting up, while soccer, pro tennis, esports, and especially women's basketball are more popular than ever. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in as little as 60 seconds. And with Prize Picks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 during a single game this summer. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you're locked and loaded. So get ready to enjoy the best fantasy sports app available. Download the Prize Picks app now. Enter code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. Enter code WI on the Prize Picks app for a first deposit match up to $100.
Landworks is the locally owned landscape company to elevate the look of your home or business. Landworks is different because of customer service. From the crew to the salesperson to the admin team, you're in good hands with Landworks. Their sales and design teams are made up of horticulturists, licensed landscape architects, and passionate plant people. Their landscape architects and horticulture team members are also project managers. This means you'll have a single point of contact from initial design through completion of work. See their amazing work for yourself at landworkswisconsin.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Wilde and Tausch. Jason continues to be off until next week when he'll return to the show. I think I might be in trouble.
What'd you do?
How long is the appropriate time to email a response to somebody?
Well, I think, if I remember right, our old general manager here said you have 24 hours.
All right, so it's been since Monday. I haven't responded
Well,
to...
you didn't respond to Joe Thomas. I think you left Matt LePay in the lurch on some stuff.
Texts are different, I think. Emails,
I
this
think
is more
text,
professional.
you should respond to text sooner than you do emails.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think I'm in trouble.
Doesn't sound like you do.
Thanks to Gravy. Thanks to Evan Cohen.
So who did you not text or email? I know we got to go.
Our manager, Danny. He emailed me something Monday. He's like, what do you think of this? And then 4 days later, he's like, well, any thoughts here? I'm like,
the best thing? Always just say, you were in my spam. That's a good
I don't want to lie to him.
Well, you don't want to go 5 days without responding either.
We'll do it again tomorrow with Alex Gravatt as our Cousin Sub of the Day producer. Greg Cosell scheduled to appear tomorrow. Hope you come for a ride for this. And as Jason always says, have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. You can count on the Brewers to host an event your crew won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Sleep apnea is a serious condition. And the worst part about it is, because it affects you while you're sleeping, you don't know what this condition is doing to you.
And it was scary because I found out that I was waking up 145 times an hour. 145 times. I was scared. I wasn't getting the sleep I needed.
And that's the thing. Someone like John wakes up after thinking he's slept all night, and he's been feeling run down for years, and finally finds out something really is wrong. This is why, for us, solving sleep apnea problems is so gratifying, because we really are changing lives.
I've had more energy. I'm getting better sleep. I've been told from my wife I don't snore, but honestly, it changed my life.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. Solving your breathing triangle problems means a better quality of life, and you deserve that.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
The big gig is back. Summerfest is going on till July 6th, and ESPN Milwaukee will be there. Kyle, Bruston, Nortman, and the Homer Hour are live from Summerfest every Thursday and Friday at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone. Stop by and say hi to your favorite 94.5 ESPN hosts and play. Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
And he's got a bunch of little yellow things falling all over his table. He's Mark Tauscher. Tausch, okay over there?
So, typically you see, those helicopters that spin off trees. I thought that's what these were, but these look like if Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was having cornflakes.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman here for Carbless, my go-to drink this summer. Handcrafted right here in Wisconsin, Carbless is a ready-to-drink vodka and tequila cocktail. Perfect for hanging out on the patio by the grill, chilling on the lake, or tailgating at the Brewers game. Plus, it's got 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and just 100 calories. All summer, make sure you're following Carbless on Instagram at Drink Carbless for your chance to win a Summer Bliss prize package. Find Carbless online and at retailers near you. Carbless. Bliss is more.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and his son Chris are joined by Basketball Hall of Famer, UCLA legend, and Olympian Ann Myers. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.